This week on the program, it's like Die Hard in a mall with total idiots. It's Paul Blart Mall Cop. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Blart.
Chris Cabin.
Ben Blart.
Thank you. The Blart brother.
Alliterative.
shit.
Yeah.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fine program. As always, the Summer Blockbuster Extravaganza continues this week with Paul Blart Mall Cop, and I know what you're thinking at home. It was released in January, which you are right.
Oh, no.
However, thanks a lot, America. This was a major motion picture.
What, over $100 million?
$183 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think it qualifies in America. You'll recover. And next week we'll have a hot summer sizzler.
Yeah,
That's right.
Kevin James needed a third house, everybody. Just help the man.
And speaking of hot summer sizzlers, we're bringing one of our hottest buds back to talk about this one, Mr. Ben Worcester.
Oh,
is
I'm
on the program.
I'm roasting over here.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Look at that hot little tenderloin. That nice cut of beef.
I do remember that January being quite balmy.
Yes. And Ben is very balmy. Ben, of course, also on the Hooked on TJ Hooker podcast.
That's
which
right.
sort of relates. It's a portly cop that's disrespected.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Although I don't think Paul Blart quite has the heavy hand that RTJ does.
No,
Right.
and also Thomas Jefferson Hooker, for what it's worth, went to the academy, became
Sure.
an
yeah.
actual
That's
police
right.
officer.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
This dude is just farting around a food court, man.
But I do think they both had sweaty tits.
Yeah.
I think in
definitely.
both cases they had very
And
sweaty
hot
tits.
milkers.
And a little bit of, they both got a little support upstairs, I'll tell you that
Oh, yeah,
much.
yeah.
That's right.
This
That's right. They're
thing,
wearing
well,
hats. Both of them are wearing hats
No,
and hair.
I think KJ's got that thing sewn on, dude.
Oh,
That's not
dude,
going
yeah,
anywhere.
you couldn't get that thing off with a jackhammer. Absolutely. This shitty motion picture, and don't worry, it's shit, is from 2009, directed by Steve Carr, who you may know
Beep, beep.
is the Helmer behind. No, it's 2 R's, so
2
not,
hours?
not beep beep.
Yeah,
What is that? That means railroad.
yeah, that's beep boop. That's not beep beep.
Well,
Choo choo.
Mr. Beep Boop Choo Choo directed next Friday.
Okay.
Dr. Doolittle Dose,
Uh-huh.
Daddy Daycare,
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Rebound.
Oh, man.
What's that?
That's a movie where
Martin
Martin Lawrence
Lawrence
is a wacky basketball coach for children.
It
Oh, okay.
Sounds better than this.
It
And
probably was.
Are we done yet?
Oh, boy.
Okay, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
That's
all,
what I
all
was,
through. Yeah.
So I mean,
Hey,
you are
yo.
looking. You are look, with the exception, I would argue, of next Friday, which
It's fine.
isn't the original, but it's fine. Otherwise, this filmography, 100% episodes as far as the eye could see.
Oh, yes.
Do you know who co-wrote it?
No.
The guy when Elaine's hair gets the funk in it, and she has
the
to get-
boyfriend?
the boyfriend is the co-writer of
Wait,
this
so
movie.
the guy
Yes.
who did the voice of Salem the
Sabrina's
Cat?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
He
This
is.
guy, I saw the name pop up, Nick Bakay.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I was just like, I don't know.
You were blown away?
Well, here's why I was blown away. A couple of months ago, I was talking with a buddy of mine trying to remember this thing on ESPN called Tale of the Tape. It's from like the 90s. Do you guys remember
I
this?
vaguely
No,
remember Tale
what
of the
is-
Tape.
no,
yeah.
please.
It was like this thing where it was Nick Bakay, but he gets on and he kind of runs down the stats of like Michael Jordan versus, John Kruk or whatever.
Dude,
You know.
the great John Kruk.
That was an easy comparison for him to make that week.
But like he puts out some numbers and then he's like, advantage Jordan.
Okay.
Advantage
Wow.
Jordan, advantage Kruk. And like it makes this whole thing about it. But the funniest part of it is when he puts two things out and they're kind of like funny comparison. He goes, advantage push.
Oh.
Push.
That means there's no advantage.
Tie.
It's
Yeah,
a tie.
No advantage. It's a tie.
Is that
Okay.
a gambling thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Push.
That's why Steve knew it immediately.
That's the Bronx, right?
Exactly.
You get your confirmation. They
When you-
hand you the bookies listings.
No, incorrect. When you're playing CeeLo with your buddies,
Sure,
and
yeah.
you tie with a friend, you push, and then you go on to the next round.
That's right.
You
Got
push it.
got it.
Similarly, look, the Nick Bakay thing on that Elaine episode of Seinfeld, the BO episode,
The smelly Carr.
He
Every
sniffing her.
Smelly
Yes,
Steve Carr.
She is a 1990 whatever Elaine Bennis, and
Yeah.
she is so horny for this chubby ginger dick. I've never seen anything like it.
She's like, Jerry, I got to get the smell out of my hair because I got to go fuck this ginger ghost. He's so pale you can see through this guy.
I've seen this man in a sweater vest, and I had to take my panties off. They were
Yes.
just useless at that point.
It's just
Wow.
insane that Elaine Bennis was dropping panties for this
I
guy.
think he might be the least attractive dude Elaine bangs on that show.
Yet he
And
was sponge-worthy.
He was.
That artist was no prize neither, right? That
Oh,
guy
man.
with the triangle.
Oh, that, yes. Oh, yes.
Got
a big date on Saturday night.
Oh, right.
She stops off for candy. Let it go. It's Elaine. Come on.
Can we please go to the Poconos?
This starts with a CGI badge of the mall.
Oh,
Dude,
That's-
and the
yeah.
score, this fucking in the line of fire opening that we're trying to do.
Is that what that is? I was like, is this Police Academy? I can't
Well,
remember. Is
not
this
the-
Top Gun?
Not the
Like-
badge part, but just that, like, it's pseudo marching music, and
Yeah.
you're getting the drums, and it's a lot of like,
Yeah.
Blart. Blart.
That's because it reminded me of a movie we have often threatened to do on this show, the Dragnet movie.
Oh, right.
When it opens and it's doing the same thing. It's
Yeah.
going over a badge and it has that shitty fucking to enforce the law. To enforce the law.
The problem with Dragnet, the movie, is every year one more person who knew about that movie dies of old age. And like,
That's true.
and just every year we just lose an opportunity to do that film.
But the kids love Paul Blart.
They love
do.
Blart.
Have grown up on this. I saw
Yeah.
someone, I think maybe it was a review, was saying like, "Oh my lord, this is not exactly as funny as I thought it was when I was 12."
Oh, you
yeah.
were
And it's-
12 when this came out? I'll be
Oh.
out back killing myself.
Yes, we're old ghosts in
I
the
know.
vaudeville theater.
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So like they're
Nearly 15
27
years.
now,
Now-
or something.
Question about the year 2009. I also noticed that in I guess, is this a Volcano Dante's Peak situation here? Because
Yes, Observe and Report.
Observe and Report
Which
came
is
out in
the
2009.
superior film.
Much better
Yes.
movie. Oh my
Yes,
god.
the
Yes.
Jody Hill.
Yes.
I remember liking
Seth
that a
Rogen
lot.
movie.
Yeah, like it was like dark and had like some
I love
weird
that
corners
movie.
to
Haven't
it.
seen it in a while, but I remember really enjoying that one.
It's like this, but with like real overtures of like Travis Bickle shit.
Well, because I mean, it's like it asks the question: what if you really wanted to be a cop? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, as
Yeah.
opposed to like, I want to be a cop because I want to save everyone in my community because I'm a fucking cartoon cat.
And
Like,
yes,
no, you're not.
and I have a kid and no wife because that's what tested well or whatever.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is just such manufactured fucking garbage.
We. Oh, sorry. Did I cut you off? Did I
no.
cut that rant off, Dennis?
Ranting off. No, it's just also like Happy Madison. I mean, they've had their moments,
Sure.
but this is why we don't have comedies
This is
anymore. This is why we don't have comedies.
This is the biggest, if I read today correctly, this is the biggest grossing non-Adam Sandler Happy Madison production.
Oy,
Wow.
hey.
So eat
Well-
shit, Nick Swardson.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
what do you got there? Nick Swardson. You got fucking Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
What was that
Wait.
Nick Swardson movie where he was in fuck
Bucky
films?
Larson,
Bucky
Paul.
something.
Yeah.
I think Grandma's Boy might be the better one.
Oh,
Not,
than
Grandma's
this,
Boy is
for
better than
sure.
this. Absolutely.
yeah, better than this.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
Grandma's Boy is a better
That's
film.
Which is
Fair
insane because it's like, all right, Sandman, who do you want leading this movie that you don't want to star in? Fucking Kevin James or Alan Covert?
That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's
You never
the
remember
guy.
because he's covert. Yeah.
Ah,
What was
excellent.
good question, Ben?
Ooh,
Were you a King of Queens man growing up, or like not growing up?
Does he look 57 years old?
You never
to
know. Like people have weird. You're a Beckerhead over here, so
Well,
let's not just.
I was a Beckerhead professionally.
Okay,
Steve.
got
I
it.
was
Sure.
He
working
was
at
literally getting paid to watch that TV
CBS
show.
Worldwide
really, he's
Distribution.
a Ted head.
He's a
when it
Ted
comes
head.
down
No,
to
no,
it.
Yeah.
No, but King of Queens was not that long ago, right?
Yeah, but it's like 2005, I think 2006.
I mean, I was never all that engaged whenever
Yeah,
it came
fair,
out.
fair enough.
I've never
98
watched.
King of Queens, by the way.
That's when that started?
98.
Yeah.
98 to 2007. So it's,
Jesus.
It's been around.
I think I recall being surprised when someone's like, Patton Oswalt's in that show? And I was like, really?
Everybody's
Stiller?
got to eat, Ben.
Jerry Stiller. I mean, like it had some hitters
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
I watched a couple
It was a
episodes
hit.
of Raymond. I would get into Raymond occasionally if you were like if things were
I
getting
was-
dire on the dial, but
I
I,
was
never.
not a Ray man. No,
I've never,
Nah.
I think to this day, I have not watched a full episode of Everybody Loves Raymond. I have somehow avoided this.
I dodged that. I dodged King of Queens. I looked at both of them and I was like, these are aggressively not for me. I do not give a fuck about either.
I
of these
also
shows.
professionally watched it when I was at Nielsen having to do the
What,
when you have
Becker?
no, King of Queens.
Oh.
Okay.
when I
So
was
you're the
working.
most well versed.
I am the most well versed, and I also I was for a moment in Kevin James's corner because I thought the stand-up special
The stand-up
was pretty
specials are
funny.
funny.
Yeah,
the
I thought that
stand-up
was pretty
specials are
funny.
funny. Those early specials,
I just know the one I think
physicality,
sweat the
Sweat
small,
small
stuff.
stuff is
that's
the one
the
I'm
biggest
thinking.
one.
Yes,
I
yeah.
think he maybe had some other like Comedy Central,
Sure.
Half
Man.
hour lead ups to
Yeah.
Sweat the Small
I think
Stuff.
we got to go back and listen to those. I'm wondering if there's something insane in that set.
I mean,
It-
there probably is.
Yeah, there might be. Yeah, I don't
No,
remember.
I
I remember
might
it being very about his energy. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't
Yes.
really getting political or anything.
I think
So
it was like
he-
very Gaffigan-esque of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh man, don't you love fast food, etc.
Well, he's got the great bit that they kind of. I thought they were like maybe referencing a little bit towards the end of this movie when Bobby Cannavale is trying to get in the minivan and they can't get the door open because he's got that great bit in Sweat the Small Stuff about like getting frustrated when
Oh,
you're trying to
yes.
unlock the door and the person's hitting it at the wrong time and he's doing the like. What's the noise he's making? He's like, no, try it now.
Yeah.
Fucking great. So we start off. He is at the New Jersey State Police Academy.
Right.
Doesn't
Sweating.
seem like a lot of fun things
We
going
get
on
to
like the police
see-
academy I know.
No.
Tit sweat out of the gate.
He's sweating the big stuff.
Oh,
Yes, he is sweating it all.
Yeah.
His
the
fucking
two big things.
Yes,
Yes.
his hooters are lactating.
He's also the tiniest cadet
Yes.
that he all of a sudden it's like, "Brap," he's the tiny one.
Yeah.
And then like, and this just begins what is a long line of just humiliation. Like,
Dude.
this guy has a shame kink. I'm certain of it.
He's got
There's
it.
just no other way
He's
to
got it.
explain what's going on here.
The amount of times I wrote the word humiliated or variations of in
Yeah.
my notes,
Which
it's
is
a record.
which is
setting
why
thing.
it couldn't be a Sandler movie, right? Because Sandler would never
You're right.
debase himself like this. The reason Kevin James is in the Happy
right.
Madison verse is because Chris Farley died. You
Yeah.
look at that
Sure.
Grown Ups
Yeah, yeah.
cast, and it's like, well, someone looks an awful lot like somebody
Yeah.
else and wasn't on Saturday Night Live
It's
at
a real
all.
one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
every time I see him, I'm like Angelina Jolie and Changeling. That's not my Chris.
Oh man, you just reminded me of something I want to rant about really quickly because
Okay.
I found it so fucking disgusting.
But what about the plot of the movie? Oh no, there's so much plot to get to.
These AI art losers, these fucking people, dude. I saw this thing the other day.
So it's really out of nowhere.
So there's
yeah.
Blart NFTs.
But Chris talking
No,
about
NFTs was the last hustle. This is the new one.
talking about
AI, yeah.
Farley
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what kicked this loose
Oh.
because the thing was we used AI art to generate images of what all these dead stars would look like today.
Okay.
And here's old Chris Farley. Here's old John
Isn't
Lennon.
this-
Eat my ass, you fucking
Oh,
loser.
well, also, that's old news. We already know what old John Lennon. We've all seen Yesterday. We know what old John Lennon looks
very
like.
true.
Don't fuck with me on this.
Robert Carlyle with a little gray. Yeah, that's how he
It's
looks like.
fine. He's
But-
looking good.
This whole AI thing, it's just like, it's not like the computer becomes alive and then draws this
No.
image. It's just it's a fucking Photoshop program.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like that old thing. You remember that bonus game? I think it was in Super Mario Brothers 3, where it's like the toad head, it's spinning, and the flower
Oh,
is spinning,
yes. Yep.
and the star is spinning, and you have to make it match.
Yes.
It's basically that, but a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right? No, I
Well,
agree.
but excreted. Like,
Yeah.
because that's what I mean. The AI makes these images or text or whatever from ingesting
Yes.
the internet, images or text or audio. The audio is
Yeah.
weird.
I mean, AI,
Like-
what am I, a Canadian starting a sentence?
I can't. And I
It
mean, like
sucks.
anyone who takes it too seriously, I just take.
But then you that's the other part of it, right? Is the people presenting it are like,
Yeah.
look at the
Check
amazing
this out.
stuff. Like this fucking idiot I saw the other day. Did you see the one with the Mona Lisa where it
Yes.
was like the AI imagined what it looked like if it was even fine? And it's like the Mona Lisa sitting next to Mordor.
Yeah.
You fucking
No,
idiot.
you know what?
It's so stupid.
I am kind of compelled now though to query like Mona Lisa like smoking a cigar.
you can
Let's
do
just
it, dude.
see what it's
We're
like.
living in a
do it.
golden age, Ben. It can happen.
You know, you can step that up from a cigar if you want.
Look, I will allow but one thing from AI. You can put in this prompt. show me a good movie starring Kevin James.
Impossible.
Because it can only be like created out of nothing.
Oh, dude, that's how you fucking war games it. It's like the only winning move is not to play. Professor Falk, would you like a nice game of checkers?
The Russian nukes are armed.
Hitch to Here Comes the Boom. Hitch to Here Comes the Boom. We can't win. We can't win.
Well, unfortunately, instead of an AI behind the pen, we had Nick Bakay, which is why sweaty tits were like,
Of course.
in the first minute.
Right, the first
minute.
He's doing the obstacle course, of course.
But he's doing it really well, though.
He's doing
He
it
is.
so well.
Because
until
Kevin James weirdly athletic.
That's
just
another
like
Chris Farley. Exactly.
the power.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the
Although-
thing that makes him almost too Farley-esque. Is how athletic he is.
I would almost prefer him to get even more athletic. Half this movie is standing on the Segway.
Yes.
It's a nothing thing. Anyway,
Well,
he
my
gets
goodness.
a diabetic coma during this fucking run because this is his big fat character trait.
Hypoglycemia, which he is, to be fair, he is unbelievably terrible about managing his,
Yes, I mean,
right.
situation.
Because
He
he's
is-
a child. This
Just
is a
bring-
high school movie. This is a high school movie, but this is Angus.
That
somehow
don't
adult-
you dare. Don't you do Eric,
Listen.
Angus is a great movie. I will not hear you.
Angus is fine. What works about Angus is
Eric?
it's a fat child,
Yes.
not
Yes.
a fat man.
Child.
Fine.
I
Man child.
This
Yes.
is a man child, and they it's like
But yeah,
you have a
manager.
man child and a kid. That's
Yes.
too much.
Well, the
George
kid is,
C. Scott isn't in this yet.
That's very true. And you know what? I rewatched Angus over the pandemic,
Uh-huh.
and it's fine motion.
It's a good movie.
You know, I was channeling George C. Scott when watching this.
Oh yeah.
turn it off.
Oh, absolutely.
Turn it off.
The weird thing about it being hypoglycemia was like when he falls and he face plants like right before
I
the
thought he had a
finish
heart
line.
attack.
Well, but what you hear is like a loud snoring.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like,
that was narcolepsy.
yeah,
Yes.
that's, I was like, oh, he's got narcolepsy.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing, like, but you're right. Like, you're an adult. Manage it. Bring like granola bars, and you'll be
Yes.
fine.
And if this is an adult movie, have him have necrophilia instead of whatever.
Oh,
Necromantic starring Kevin James.
No,
I'm
thank
into
you.
that shit.
No, I'm not. I've
That
seen
might be
both
the-
of those.
That might
I've
be a
seen-
good movie.
Listen, I've seen both of those necromantic movies, and I'll tell you right now, no one would be into that.
But listen, Paul Blart, this character would be fucking the dead.
Oh,
Right?
sure.
He would be doing
a-
some
he's a
really
lonely
nasty
man.
Because
stuff.
there's something definitely if you are taking this kind of punishment and just blowing it off as like, oh well, oh God, I can't wait to see my mother and my daughter tonight, and oh God, everybody hates me.
He's
Okay,
got Family Annihilator vibes written all
Yeah,
over.
he
Oh, yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
does. It's kind of stunning that he's not the one that tries to lay siege on this mall.
Right.
He
He's
should've.
just like, just one day something fucking snaps in his head.
Which would be more interesting. I guess it's more like observe and report.
that is
then.
kind of more
Oh,
like observe and report.
yeah.
So yeah, it's like, oh, you're probably wondering how I got here. Well, hypoglycemia. Let's go home where I can pathetically eat dinner with my mother and daughter. This whole thing about like, get me a piece of pie, and he's
yeah.
putting peanut butter.
That-
on
that-
it.
that's,
Shirley
that's a
Knight.
real question for the room here because I don't know. I've never seen it before. I'm not a pie guy. I don't eat pie in any stripe, way,
which
shape, or
is
form.
insane, by the way.
I know.
The comments are lighting a fire. Right
I
now.
know that, and I will bring it up every
Pie
time.
is wonderful.
I'm a cake person, but don't really have
Yeah.
a sweet tooth. Just give me Doritos. But I don't. But the peanut butter on pie, Ben, are you putting peanut butter on pie?
That's demented.
No, it's
I've
insane.
never heard of it.
It's
I've
insane.
never heard of it.
If I saw very clearly it was like a chocolate,
Sure.
some kind of thing like a ganache, I don't know.
But this is clearly like
Chocolate
a blueberry or a raspberry pie,
Yes.
and he's smothering it in peanut butter.
So is this supposed to be like a funny thing that he's
I
doing?
think
Oh, it's supposed to be hilarious.
It's supposed to be so funny how fat he is.
Got it.
Like, oh my God, this guy is so fat. He's adding all these calories
Yeah.
onto the pie after the dinner, and he needs the pie immediately. Isn't that so funny? Oh, by the way, his kid's fat too. Laugh at that. And here's a picture of his ex who was a migrant that was fat, which is the the
Dude.
darkest sin on earth.
A
that's-
migrant con artist.
That's
Yeah,
not
is
least that
so
bad.
Sure.
fucking insane that this movie, it can't just be like his wife left him because he's
Yeah.
a fucking mall security guard. No. This is a fucking undocumented person that quote unquote scammed him. Like, what a fucking thing to throw in your movie.
and left him with a daughter too. Like I mean, like even if you scam somebody, you get pregnant by them, you take the kid. That's the move,
Yes,
right? Like,
yeah, of course.
But I feel like it's just this undercurrent of like, see, see what they do.
Well, that's the thing, is because he is the type to remember that and be like, oh, pie film it's just like jam. So you put a little peanut butter with your jam.
Can we pause the movie for a second to let you know they don't even support their own? Okay, look at this. I can't believe this. Shit. Anyway, back to the film.
It feels like that's what it's doing, Eric.
Yes.
It's that, but it's also the setup of a Todd Solondz film. You know what I mean? Like, this is the beginning of it. It's like this sad guy, and he's living there, and he's jerking off upstairs to pictures of his dead wife.
Absolutely.
Or whatever's happening.
Totally, it
If she
just
was
makes
dead,
no sense.
It would
No.
be
Like-
something if she was dead. My God.
Well, but
I
like,
feel
there's
like-
no way Happy Madison's going for that. But what Steve is putting together there is actually sounding like a pretty interesting film that like IFC would put out.
Yes, exactly.
No. This has to be the most pathetic man ever produced.
Just don't. I would keep the kid out of it because actually, and we'll get to it. I don't know how she winds up being a hostage at the end of the
I
movie.
don't know
and she
either,
just
there.
kind of teleports in to the situation.
She winds up being a hostage of the movie because you didn't remember it, but she's bringing him food at work.
Oh,
He
what a
works in a
good
mall,
daughter.
and you gotta bring him food
Extra food.
You know why?
Just
Because he's a big fella.
Yes.
this movie does not miss a second to remind you that he's a big guy.
But that's the thing is, like, I mean, like, just cut her out of it. You cut that story out. Then he's just sort of like, it's a little more relaxed where it's just like, he's living at home with his mom. He's a mall security guard. He always wanted to be a cop, blah, blah. It's just, it's cleaner. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
And he has a crush on the other girl and he wants to make a big splash. And it is Angus. But I guess Angus didn't have a child in that movie. Is that, well, you think they were
Angus
afraid of
was
legal
like
action?
15.
And he had a friend that was kind of his child.
Got it.
Yeah, the Shermanator was his little friend.
Oh, I
Yes.
forgot the Sherman.
Also, Angus just had so much more confidence than this man has on
That's
every
the thing
level.
is they cared more about that character turn. Like Angus actually cared about those character beats.
Yeah.
And when you're in Paul Blart,
Who gives
it's
a
just
shit?
the fat show until the end.
I honestly think he should just be a loner. Have him be alone on his own. At least give him that he can
Yes.
handle himself,
Right.
that he can fucking pay the rent. Like
But
that.
No, because mommy has to make his dating
That's
profile
right.
for him.
That's what drives me crazy, because it's essentially like being like, fucking Will Ferrell's character in Wedding Crashers. What if he was the most like, oh, he's so sweet.
Well,
Like how about he just
that's
treated
perfect.
like that?
That's
Like,
perfect because it's like that's what they kind of wanted, I think,
Yes.
right? Like, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, there's some like weird fucked up shit in it, but they play it with this like kind of, they're not going for true like pathos, really.
Yeah, no.
Right.
And when they do, Sandler can pull it off. Farley can pull it off. Kevin James.
This was also
He's
the
a big
era.
fella.
The aughts was the era of like the docile incel, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
they're not really killing everyone yet.
Actually, no, they
Just
are the
being
best
fat.
people on earth.
They're the best people on the earth. They just need someone to give them a chance
Yeah.
and immediately start dating them for asking, "Oh, can I get a hair extension?" And
But this
we'll
is the,
get that.
this is the saddest part. I mean, like, again, like, it's just him, and they light these scenes like fucking gummo, don't they? Like, there's just like one bare naked light bulb above there. You can smell
in the
fly.
bathtub.
If he's in the bathtub and there's eating disgusting spaghetti and stuff, I'd be like, that makes sense at least.
Now
You're
it
painting me
does.
a realistic picture.
Mom, I'm gonna need you to bring the spaghetti into the bathtub. And, bring the peanut butter too. I'm gonna slather it in peanut butter.
spaghetti
It's a
pie.
Thanksgiving tradition.
Put some of it in the tub with me, and then give me a bowl separate for that as
But
well.
Oh, and he drinks his own wastewater? That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
it does say wastewater.
It's his mother and his daughter, and they're looking at him like, well, Dad, you promised it's Thanksgiving. And he's like, what did I promise? I'm such a loser. It's like, well, if you didn't have any dates by Thanksgiving, you'd let us make you a dating profile. You said that last year.
Dude, yeah, it's like you're a year overdue on this, like, you can make a profile for me things. They make this profile, and the mother is just like, oh, I'm going to put that cute video that you made last year. And it's just him fucking mugging for the camera on this goddamn, what are they?
Segway.
Segway. I almost said
Segway.
hover round, but
This
yeah,
thing,
Segway.
2009.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
People were acting, kids at home, I know you're too young to understand. Just listen up. People were acting like Segways were going to change our lives.
God.
People were acting like everyone's going to be riding them
Don't you
everywhere.
hate walking?
Yeah.
Hey, don't you hate walking?
No.
But is
No.
it, are those the things Isn't this the grandfather of the things that's littering the streets right now in all major cities?
Well, scooters were invented before Segways, and now we're back to scooters. I think because the Segways failed.
Yeah,
because they look so dumb.
If you want Segway comedy, goddammit, you go watch Arrested
Thank
fucking
you.
Development, and you watch Gob Bluth.
I guarantee you that was on their mind, Ben.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you.
But
It's like-
that show started 6 years before this movie came out.
And
so
honestly,
already super dated.
aside from it being cripplingly sad or us laughing at someone who is fat, not necessarily Kevin James, but someone who is fat.
Don't forget his whole family.
He and well, I'm gonna get to the lady in the Victoria's Secret, which bothers me to no end.
It's a bar scene.
Oh,
But-
boy.
But the Segway is the other joke. That's the only other joke. It's
Yes.
like, Segway. And they are expecting you at minute fucking 68 of this movie to be like, hey, Segway. It's like, dude, that has passed.
He's pretty good on that. he's pretty good on that Segway.
Hey, are we still laughing at Segway?
You know,
All right.
you know what's going to make us $180 million at the box office?
You know,
Kevin James on a Segway.
Woo-hoo, my sides are splitting.
But shit, it was like the poster, he's on the Segway. At least
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
one of
Of
the
course.
posters. I mean, they let you know that the Segway was in this movie.
He's literally in like 75% of the movie.
Yeah.
I think he's on the Segway.
Yeah,
Is
like
that-
that-
I mean, that's
Yeah.
not like.
Yeah, no,
That's a safe number.
it's how they promoted the movie was like Justice on Wheels and shit like that. Like I remember the trailers being like
Justice on
some
Wheels.
weird fucking stupid shit. But you have to imagine because what else? Because I don't think if you asked the writers like, what is the joke with this Segway? I don't think they would give you a straight
Exactly.
answer.
There's
There's just
nobody knows.
nothing there.
He's big and fat, and he's
Yes.
just like moving around on it.
Well, it's a comical vehicle that people normally don't see and understand.
Watch him go out of frame and then back into frame. Look how funny that is.
Let me tell you a little something about physical comedy here. When he pushes forward on the Segway, a laugh.
If he backs up, they should at least put in the sound of a big bus coming
That's-
back. You know?
Oh, that would have been something.
But this is the thing too, is like you almost want to reveal the Segway because like you get the mom putting the stupid video where he's like, and it's like, I don't know, some silly rock song of him on the Segway. And then we cut literally to him going to work on a Segway. Like, that's too much Segway already.
And
And it's been
shouldn't
we're at minute 7.
Why
Shouldn't
is
there
he
be a
never
s-
polishing it like he's
Yeah,
like
washing
shining it up?
Oh, that would
you
be
know,
nice.
like-
Yeah, I would
You got to
like that.
charge that thing?
Come
Is that a gas guzzler?
it's a charge thing. But the other thing that's weird that I just realized was like we see him. He has no fewer than 2 Segways in this little garage. He's got like the one that he's taken to work, and then there's another one. And then when he gets to work, there's all the Segways that look like the one that he rode in on. And I was like, are you supposed to be taking these from the mall, dude? This is not part of the commute.
Well, all right, there you go. Another missed opportunity. He takes them home. Mod it up. Let's see one that has like weapons on it or shit. Like,
Oh,
What about a
man.
fun troll doll on the top of it?
whatever.
there be
A little bicycle thing if you want to go the Pee Wee route. Like,
No, he should have a
Come
bunch
on.
of knives at the end of this movie. He should have a bunch of knives on the cover, have a hockey mask
Yes.
on, walk up to this bacon, just walk away.
There needs to be a
Get the
scene.
gasoline.
There needs to be a scene where he overcomes the Segway. He doesn't need the
Yeah,
Segway.
sure.
Leave it behind and continue the movie.
No. All the way through the credits are rolling additional footage of their wedding, which is at the mall, by the
course
way.
it is.
And
Wow.
we're dancing with
I thought-
fucking his
Hold
and
on.
hers
Yeah.
Segways.
I thought that was bloopers, and I turned it right off.
No, dude.
The story
them-
continues.
It's just their
Yeah, yeah.
wedding. They get married at the
Wow.
mall, and it's a his and hers Segway, and they're dancing together in the Segways.
Also, by the way, a fucking Segway in this movie takes place in New Jersey in November. Good luck riding around with that thing without a fucking parka on, dude.
totally, absolutely, yeah. So it is. He's all like getting all nervous because we're coming up on Black Friday, the busiest day at the mall. So he's sort of like preparing for all of that, and we see him, as you would with any mall security guard, being disrespected at every turn.
You know
getting made fun of by kids.
As they should be. That's your job. I'm sorry. That's it. And what I wouldn't give for us to actually get some like did anybody talk to a person who's
Thank
been
you.
through a Black Friday sale and get some details of what it's actually like in preparing
So
for?
you're saying you should be
anything?
shooting this crowd or something?
Absolutely, Eric. I absolutely think guns are the answer
Some
on
tranks,
this one.
I
maybe?
think actually the world of the mall. By the way, this is like the last moment of the mall. I
Yes,
think is like
it
2009. Like this is
absolutely
the latest you could put this out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think that like that's an okay movie. Is
Yes.
like Paul Blart Mall Cop, and he's actually just a bumbling mall cop, and then maybe like there's a third act thing where something happens. but
maybe
it's
some jokes. They should put some jokes. in there.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
What if it was like a because it's like the last waning days of the mall, right?
Sure.
Like, this mall is in danger of becoming a ghost mall, and
Sure.
Yeah.
Paul Blart's got to save the mall that way, not from vague robbers that want credit card account
It just turns into a
numbers.
bad action movie for an hour, and you're like, well, that's not funny at all.
Die Hard in the Mall with
A
idiots.
bad action movie that apparently they took some action out of for being too scary.
That's what you want to do.
Really?
You want to remove
too-
anything that would be remotely interesting to audiences.
It's too scary, Ben.
I mean, this mall is like a couple weeks from being the setting of Tim and Eric's $1 Million movie. Like, just not too far off.
Is that why you guys had me on this show because of my mall pedigree?
Are you a mall?
Right. I remember
Huh?
you mentioned this before
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you grew up on the plains of the Mall of America.
Well, I hail from the land of 10,000 malls, Minnesota, state of Minnesota, which does have the Mall of America.
Right,
Sure.
Minnesota.
And
It's like
my
one of those small
hometown-
Coke cans, right?
Uh-huh.
You used to live on them?
Now, hold on a second. Let's not get into
Like
that.
a little Coke can.
Not
you're
for
like
this
standing
show.
on the top.
I come from Eden Prairie, Minnesota,
Mhm.
Mhm.
where they had the Eden Prairie Mall, which was the mall that they filmed Mallrats at.
Oh,
Wow.
that's why that sounded familiar to me. I was like, why
Yeah.
have I heard of that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I have
Two Mallrats bonus features.
I have memories of different Kevin running around the mall filming everything. Like
That's kind of cool.
yeah,
though.
it was fun.
That's a good movie.
Did you watch them film that movie? Were you-
yeah, I was
that's
in there
pretty-
a couple of times. It
Did
was
you get to meet LaFours?
Sven Ulthursen, dude.
Absolutely.
But again, that's a movie where comedy is happening at the mall.
I will
and it's
say-
Yep.
related to a mall.
I still like Mallrats
Yeah, I do.
to this day.
It's a good movie.
It's a funny
Yeah.
movie.
It's got a lot of jokes in it. It's Clerks is obviously the one that's like actually has like real heart and like kind of
Sure,
cultural
yeah.
significance. But Mallrats is fun. Mallrats is fun as fuck.
There's
It's hilarious.
characters. There's characters there. I mean, Ethan Suplee. I want to like give him my Korak seeds and see if he gets me something back.
So Ben, did you get your fortune told? Did you get your fortune told by a three-nippled lady?
X3's company star.
Yes. No.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that was the Dirt Mall. Were there dirt malls?
dirt malls.
Dirt malls?
Minnesota's got every kind of mall.
Well, a dirt mall
Every
is
kind of
what,
mall
like,
you want.
Chris and I grew up working at the multiplex. That was a fucking dirt mall. By
Oh,
the time we got it was like it had its fall from grace. Like it was big in like the late 80s.
And then lunch breaks, you're sitting on a bushel of hay. So
What?
what's that?
No, you just sort of like ate Taco Bell in the little
Same thing.
arcade area
Yes.
there.
Get yourself an orange Julius outside the Piccadilly Circus.
It's kind of funny, Steve. You just bring up the idea of like this was right as malls were ending, because a little funny bit about this, when he starts doing his whole like John McClane shit at the end of this movie, and he's got to go get gadgets and whatnot. He goes into a sharper image multiple times. By the time this movie was released in theaters in 2009, Sharper Image didn't have stores anymore.
Yep. It makes total sense.
Catalog only.
So he's riding through. He sees this babe, played by I forget her name is.
Who is this?
Okay, the character's name is Amy, and she's running
Mayla
the.
something.
Jayma Mays is her
Yeah.
name.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's the
like-
updated casting of one of the babes in the third Bill and Ted movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, she's running unbelievable.
Bargain bin Anna Faris.
Yes,
Right.
big
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Speaking of observe and report.
Yeah.
Oh, right. There you go. Better movie.
But yeah, she works in a wig stand.
Yeah.
and
Right.
he is motor
Sick.
scooting by there and gets all horny. And isn't this funny? He's so stupid and
Yeah.
he's so horny.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
drives his Segway into the back of a minivan.
Of course.
Yeah.
And dents it because he's obese.
That's
Like
right.
if this was Observe and Report, it would be him bothering like a 17-year-old girl that works at Aeropostale. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, you get your work hours in. That's pretty cool. When do you graduate? What's the prom going to be like?
So, like, is it cool if I test some more of the cologne you're selling?
He would be trying to give a ticket to the guy the minivan
Yes.
guy.
Yeah. It's okay if I sit outside your house for the all night long like I did yesterday.
I remember when me and my friends after the mall, I was working here then. I was working over at a store that doesn't exist anymore, you see. And we would go and we'd look for an older fellow to buy beer, and I said I could help that.
Just saying, if you wanted that, I've been on the other side. I've been where you are, and so if you wanted,
I'd be totally down to hang out with you if it wasn't a sting operation, because that's happened to me a couple times. I'm so sick of it.
It's just crazy. Like I'm saying, like I just want you to spray me with cologne, and the next thing I know is hello there, Chris Hansen, mall cop.
That was a mall cop. He stopped some fucking mall crimes.
That's actually true. So he's so horny and embarrassed now.
Yes.
That he fell into the car. He's got to run to the security office and start spying on her on the security feed.
All of a sudden, this became Sliver. Like he's like studying footage, like
a way less erotic than Sliver.
And Alan Covert, who this movie needs a little more Alan Covert, I think.
He's a funny fucking guy, man. He never ceases to make me laugh. But there's a point in this movie where he literally just runs away from the movie.
Yes, he does.
Returns.
Good for him.
But
you know what? I think he had the right idea.
Because he's a good foil, right? He's like, oh, you take this too seriously. This
Correct.
Is a job for a deadbeat like me. LOL. And like, that's comedy,
But
right?
instead, he gets set up with the guy who ends up being the villain, who's got zero presence.
I don't know why this guy Keir O'Donnell was in.
If you can't get Jamie Bell, cut the price in half. You get this guy.
Keir
I'll tell you what.
O'Donnell.
Keir O'Donnell. He's an Australian actor. I kind of think he's one of the best parts of this movie.
Really?
He gets
crazy.
I think anyway, he gets the goofy villain thing.
Really? Yeah.
I do. And
I liked the pen salesman.
We'll get to him. We're going to nail him to a cross.
don't worry about it.
I like the minivan.
Big fan of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I like Keir O'Donnell. And fine, he was just in Ambulance, which he was funny.
That's right. Yeah,
he was coming off.
baby.
He's coming off Wedding Crashers. He was like the creepy gay brother.
We're having a lot of fun with that. Wedding Crashers 2005.
Exactly. So he played that to much effect. So they want to put him in here. I just kind of wish he had a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
what is the motivation at all?
Exactly.
Nothing.
It's also kind of weird
nothing.
because it's like we're robbing a mall, and like you have your little like X Games buddies that are helping out here.
What is the
my
plot? What is the
God.
plot? What
Speaking
are
of 2009,
parkour
thieves.
But what are they after? Credit card codes?
Codes.
So they're going to siphon off every purchase that every store has made?
no, I
Buy it?
think it's like stealing the
Identity
credit card
theft kind of
numbers
Of
times
people?
times
Yeah.
X will get you, which they say is $30 million.
Oh.
Out of nowhere. There's a
Okay.
couple things that are out of nowhere in this movie. $30 million is out of nowhere. A fucking private jet that these Jersey scumbags have procured
Waiting for them on the tarmac.
with no like flight team in sight, by
No.
the way.
I'll tell you why why he has to be because he is the one guy who is nice to Paul. Like
Yes.
genuinely is like being like, stop, like don't be a shit to this. He's fine. Like,
Right.
like yeah, he's a little annoying, but like stop, he's fine. So that guy, of course, has to be the villain.
Yes.
Like
That's
the
right.
one
It's like,
guy who
yeah.
is nice to him has to be the
Ooh,
worst person.
gotcha. I pretended to have respect for you.
Yeah, so this he's set up as a co-worker there as a security guard. It's
In
his first
training.
day. He's got
Peter Garety from The Wire is their chief. I really was sad there for a minute when I
Dude,
saw him
Garety
there.
is so great on The Wire. He's like the judge,
Yeah.
you know. And here I'm like, what are you doing in this movie, man?
He's also in an amazing Law and Order episode where he is a scumbag lawyer who gets like who like lies on the stand, does all this crazy shit so he can bang this like 19-year-old that he's defending.
So it's just a lawyer then, right?
Yeah, it's just a normal old lawyer.
The
regular
beginning,
lawyer.
so like he's like, all right, let's go on the job. They're both in their fun segues. LOL. And
LOL indeed.
It's so
now there's two
funny.
segues,
Yeah.
and
Oh my God!
Look
two
at
times,
how much better Paul Blart is than this other guy on his Segway.
You're totally right,
two
Ben.
times the laughs.
But they start.
He's blarting loops around this guy.
he pulls over, and I mean, like, because it's a pullover joke. An old man in a cart for quote unquote reckless driving, and I'm like, what is this scene? He's like, I'm gonna have to give you a citation. I'm like, of what? You're a mall. Like,
Yeah, where is
all you
this
could
going?
do is ask me to leave the mall. Like, that is your entire
Which
power.
would be fine if that was the scene. Just ask this guy to get the fuck, like,
Well-
do some. Why are any of these people on staff? They don't do anything.
They don't. And the whole joke is he's ignoring him.
Yes.
Like, that's the big ha-ha. And then when they get to the actual interaction, it's just like, it's over. Like, oh, God, I need to be called back to the office.
I did find it funny, if only because, again, it's just a mall security officer being humiliated, which is great. And this old man has the right idea. Fuck you, vroom, vroom. You have no authority because you are, once again, a mall security guard.
But he's trying to give him a ticket, which can't exist.
No.
is the problem.
What do you think that ticket says?
Please stop.
It's like $300.
Yes.
$300 ticket for riding your hover around too
No.
fast in the mall.
It's got to be like $5 or a voucher. No, you get a voucher taken away from your coupon book.
How much is an hour's parking here? It's about that.
All right, your
whatever that
parking is invalidated. That's what
there
it
you
is.
go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He's got this big fucking citation book.
It doesn't make any sense because you can't get a citation at a mall. All they could do is ask you to leave.
And they never set up why isn't Peter Garety a person who does believe in all this shit?
Sure.
Isn't pressing upon him like, oh yeah, this is you have to lay down the law. You have to be all. No, but everybody thinks he's fucking weird for acting like this.
Yes.
Including his boss.
Because the rest of the people, Covert, the judge from The Wire, the dude who's just sleeping, and that's the joke, is he's asleep in the chair the whole time. You never even see who he is. They understand their station in this world, which is, just a reminder, a fucking mall security guard, okay? He's the only one that has these aspirations for being a cop, and it's like, you got to let that go, dude.
Yeah.
You fucking fell asleep on the training course. Like, it's not going to happen.
There's
I'm
a mention
sorry.
that he flunked out 8 times doing that training course.
Yeah.
That's the
8
thing, dude.
times.
They will
He
let
just-
these
he
people
just
take
can't.
that fucking test until they pass it.
He just can't get that granola intake right.
No, that's like
That's
literally
the
would
problem.
say
It's
it
no
all.
granola. It's fucking pixie sticks.
Oh my God.
And he's hitting this thing like it's an EpiPen. I hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people do that for like a quick
Sure.
thing or whatever, but like, just the thing that like it's part of the character that it's like always in his pocket and you can proudly
Also,
see this pixie
Sending
stick.
the wrong message.
It's okay to be a mall security guard. Want to throw that out
course,
there?
sure.
Any of them listening? Thank you for your service. I mean, you're not
No,
Paul Blart.
that's
You're
the
not
exact
Paul
problem.
Blart.
That's the exact problem. Fucking thanking for service. You're a security guard. There's no service.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Did
serious.
you see the badge? Did you see the badge
It looked very-
floating in the
Yeah,
beginning of the movie?
It fell out of the fucking bubble gum dispenser.
All I'm
dude.
saying is tip them 20% wherever you go.
What in the fuck are you talking about?
No one knows what malls are anymore anyway.
That's true.
That's
this is
the
a
other
dying.
thing.
I'm just
Yes.
saying it's okay to be not
Destitute.
destitute, almost destitute, and working a shitty job.
Look,
We've all been there.
And Andrew, I mean, like you have never worked at a Mr. Sub in a mall and worried every day, what if all my cold cuts are stolen overnight? Because that is real panic. And that could happen to anybody who owns
But
a
I
Mr.
worked
Sub.
I worked in a multiplex for 6 years where I saw the same fucking disgusting father-son duo mall security guard assholes
Wow.
literally sleeping at the
Wait a
desk.
second.
Nice.
Father and son.
It was father and son, dude.
Oh,
Father
really?
and son.
I wanna
Yeah,
see
the
that
proud
movie.
tradition.
First of all, better movie.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
wrote a better
That's
movie.
true. That,
Yeah, the first 15 minutes of Monsters Ball.
Yeah, sure.
But for a mall security
or if
guard.
like Peter Garety was his father.
Yeah.
And that's just a thing.
Yeah.
We get no read
Why
on
not?
his old man in this movie.
No,
He's probably
because who
dead. He
cares?
probably died.
too much
yeah.
pie.
Too much peanut
Pie
butter
now.
pie.
Pie now.
Mama Blart is like sitting under a fucking buzzing out light bulb looking at a greasy picture of this old fuck. And she's about to eat mayonnaise and go to sleep.
Steve, come on. She's going to be on television.
Oh, that's true. She certainly wants to know if this bus is going to Madison
You know-
Avenue.
Yeah.
I mean, Gummo and Blart sound like, I mean, that's in the same
Gummo
universe,
Blart?
right?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Gummo Blart, dude.
Right?
The worst Marx brother.
I feel like
Oh man.
So speaking of fat,
Well, that's
we
here's
get this interaction of Victoria's Secret.
because
Take it
we go,
away.
we go from
It's
the
take it
old
away.
man
we
on the
learn
rascal.
what this movie is trying to tell you is it's totally okay to be a fat man. which is a fine message.
Is it telling us that?
I say that as a fat man myself. Of course, he nails a 10 at the end of this movie, dude. You know what I mean?
You know
Like,
that's cartoon
8.5.
delusions. Like I like an anvil hit him on the head and we didn't see it.
but like no, but he takes down all the bad guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure
And
he doesn't.
all of everyone who calls him fat and a loser, they turn out to be a loser themselves.
Oh.
Right.
However, if you are a fat woman, you're disgusting. That's what we learned in this scene.
Dude, this is weird. So yeah, it's like here's our first call. Vec is the new guy's name, which is quite terrible.
Okay.
Say Vec.
A little problematic. Some of the pronunciations in there, I was just like,
I thought they were saying Beck for a while.
yeah.
But
Not
so
good.
It's like, here we go. Let's roll. We got a call. And it's Victoria's Secret. The attendant at the store is Jackie Sandler. Of course.
Gotta launder that money, dude.
Yeah,
Gotta
This is
launder that
Sandman.
money.
Absolutely. It's like, why did this glorified extra make $6 million for this role?
Oh, babe, you want to be in SAG? Yeah, I could get you into SAG. No problemo.
Jackie pops up in a lot of his movies.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, hibbity dibbity, we hide the money this way.
Hobbity doobity, Cayman-y doobity.
Exactly.
Cayman-y doobity. Yes.
So yeah, it's this. These two ladies are fighting over, and I find this hard to believe. The last push-up bra in this store.
And of course, we've Babe versus what the movie's telling us is Godzilla.
Yes. An overweight woman, which is like the worst thing a person could be.
And she has a date tonight, and the quote unquote attractive woman is like, is he blind?
And she throws her soda
burn.
at her, and like then Paul Blart like pulls her aside. He's like, listen, I know what it's like to be overweight. You know, we just eat our feelings and all this stuff.
And you're
it's like,
disgusting. And you know, I started to eat a little healthier, which question mark.
I want to see that.
Guess
scene.
what?
I saw you put fucking peanut butter on a slice of pie not more than 10 minutes ago.
Your skin's gonna clear up. You're gonna be slightly less disgusting if you follow my methods of life. And then
She turns into King Kong Bundy. She starts fucking clotheslining.
This
punches
is
him.
you know the last time this happened, the fucking shoe store in Married with Children.
Thank
Speaking
you.
of
Yeah,
balls,
yeah.
This is a straight up Married with Children joke right
Yes.
here. They're fighting and a feuding and whatnot. Kevin James does have kind of a funny thing that I think might be an ad lib where like she's kind of got him in some sort of grip and he goes, she's biting my neck. She's biting my neck. And then she clotheslines him, which is pretty great.
Doesn't this
But, like,
happen at the beginning of Delta Farce with Larry the Cable Guy? Like he runs afoul of an overweight woman and they
yes,
wrestle.
yes,
That sounds
at the
right.
buffet.
Yes, because we have
At the buffet.
it's the oldest fucking middle America joke you could make.
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
your intrepid slob, is saying all the things you wish you could say, which is calling women fat, and then the women get upset about it.
Yes.
And then, I mean, in a stunning turn of events,
Yeah.
after this fight in the Victoria's Secret, turns out he's still got a job, which made me think maybe these mall security guards are closer to cops than I realized. Because how on earth are you still employed after you fucking punched a woman in the
The
stomach?
thin white line, man. It's just how that works.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he was the one that got his.
Well, he got
ass
the clothesline.
Yeah.
Oh, so Ben, you're saying if he won the fight, then
Right.
maybe he'd be
Then,
fired.
then maybe he'd be fired. But
Did you finish the fight? No.
guy-
Well, then she won it.
the guy's a shame sponge, you know. So
But how does this even?
Shames.
How does? What's the conclusion? Who gets the bra?
you know,
I want to know. I kind of want to know.
well, there's a lot of things that are just left
Yes.
dangling in this movie.
The
And
editing
they
is
don't know
very
it.
strange. Well, not strange, just like bad, like flat out bad. Like
Yeah.
scenes just sort of end without whatever. Scenes start without purpose.
characters
end without purpose.
disappear.
Yes,
it's terrible. This might be one of the worst we've ever done.
There you go
see-
again with that.
I think
it's up there
true.
for me too.
It's
yeah.
pretty bad.
I injured my eye watching this movie.
That's right.
Let me ask you guys this really quickly because this is where it came up. Did anybody watch this on Pluto or Tubi?
I
Yes.
did. Yes.
No, you know why? Because I wanted it to be over as soon as possible. So I just
rented it.
No, but see,
I
this-
paid the money.
I'll tell you what, dude. It was kind of like you're jogging, and
Uh,
then like when the commercial comes on, it's like when you stopped for air.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of nice. But
God,
all right,
I
so
love it. I love the commercials.
you guys
Thank
that watch
Give me
it
a
on Tubi-
fucking break.
Did either of you have this terrifying Downy commercial with the Backstreet Boys?
Oh, I've seen this commercial. Yes.
No,
You've
I
seen
did
this?
not.
Oh my God. This commercial where it's like, it's a girl and she's got an old Backstreet Boys t-shirt and it's like kind of smelly or
Is
whatever.
Joey Fat one there?
No, that's NSYNC. And
You stupid.
All right.
fucking idiot.
Justin Timberlake? There?
No, again, that's
all right.
the
One
people,
last one.
the people that are in
Lance
the
Bass.
group.
That's still in sync.
Wow, look who knows all the members of NSYNC. It
And I
turns
can't
out.
name you a single Backstreet Boy. AJ?
AJ, that's
AJ's a
that's
Backstreet Boy.
Okay.
But so she also has a Backstreet Boys poster.
Yes.
And all the Backstreet Boys come to life on the poster and they're
Yeah.
like, better use Downy to wash our t-shirt. And it's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, it's like they sing That Way or something like
Yes,
that or
I-
something.
I gleaned that as much as I could because I'll tell you another thing about watching stuff on Tubi, dude. When those fucking commercials come on, you best believe I'm hitting the mute button. Don't even worry about it.
Sure. It's gross. But so then he goes up to Amy and he starts flirting with her, and she's of course charmed by him. But here comes his rival, who also
boy.
disappears from the movie.
Hang on a second. We're going to get to that, dude. But this whole thing, we got to break it down really quick.
Okay.
He offers.
She works at a wig store
She works at a wig store.
or an extension store.
It's the first of 3 times we hear Survivors I Can't Hold Back, which
Sure.
I can't remember the last time I heard that fucking song.
Well,
the
they
Happy
couldn't,
Madison 80s horseshit.
Exactly.
but they
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
hold back.
Which I do. Listen, that's another thing I kind of like about the Happy Madison movies is all the like pseudo forgotten 70s,
The yacht
80s
rock,
yeah, whatever. But he's like, oh, Amy, can I give you a ride to your car now that you've closed up your little wig shop?
This needs breaking
So she
down.
gets on this fucking Segway and he gets on behind her and they're having this fucking Titanic-esque magical trip through the mall.
It's a hump fest.
Dude,
It is.
if he gets a boner, this guy is fucking finished. She's probably like, man, the fucking sooner I can get off this goddamn Segway, but I'm locked into it because this fucking huge dude is hugging me against
This
it.
guy goes from not even having a dating profile
Yes.
to mustering up the stones to be all right, come on, hop on this Segway
That's
and
right.
let me bear hug you.
Yeah.
Like,
And hump that ass. Yeah.
oh my goodness.
So we did kind of already meet him, but this is where he really gets to shine because all the mall worker buddies go hang out at American Joe's after work.
Of course.
And again, like this is a movie. This is actually when it's still a movie because it's like here, like he's hitting on her. He's like flirting, like, oh, I could give you a call sometime. And then like Steve Rannazzisi shows up and he's like, we're all going to American Joe's later. You're not coming, are you, Blart? You're so fucking fat. And like
Pretty much.
And he says, he
pen
literally says to him, he's like,
guy.
what are you laughing at? I just called you fat. But that's a rivalry, right? Like that's sort of
Sure.
a thing. And then
Yeah.
he shows him up at the third act.
Yep.
Nope.
No.
No,
I mean,
none
I
of that
guess
happens.
because he's a coward. But
Sure.
But like we see his cowardice later in the movie, but it's nothing that like Paul Blart brings out. Like he can't take
Right.
ownership
That's
for
true.
like dude pulling the mask
we also
off.
saw his
It's terrible.
cowardice on 9/11 when he
Yes.
uncourageously wasn't in those buildings.
Yes.
And then also uncourageously didn't attend SUNY purchase, which he claimed. The guy's a pathological liar.
Steve Rannazzisi, the league's Steve Rannazzisi.
Yeah.
He should run for office.
Yeah.
He should.
Just
He'd be
lying
great at it.
about, where he was on 9/11, lying about where he went to school. He's like fucking George Santos.
Yeah, let's go here, Steve.
The lying about 9/11, I understand. Like that's, you could turn it into a hero story. You can get some sympathy out of it, et cetera, et cetera. Lying about going to a state art school, Ben, wherever you went, you could have went to SUNY Purchase. If you wanted to, if you thought about it,
Yeah.
you could have. Hey, if you're listening right now, you can go to SUNY Purchase right now. You don't have to lie about anything.
Where else do you get to say it's almost as good as Juilliard?
Oh, come on.
Well,
we all had fun.
We had
did.
fun. We met there. Ben, I met in college at Late Night with Conan O'Brien, but I was at SUNY Purchase.
I was not in college.
Oh, yeah, because you were an Oldman.
Now I'm an old man.
I forgot about that about you.
Conning my way into that position.
Right, you went to, what is it, B.O.?
No,
You
close.
smelled too
try,
much?
Try another vowel there.
B.U.
Chuckles.
Chuckles. So we're at this like fake TGI Fridays kind of place.
And here's the thing, man. If you go to a Kevin
yeah.
James movie, Ben, you
Yeah.
think you're having a good time. You're like, all right,
Yeah.
you really gotta watch yourself because anywhere you look, there's his brother. Oh, there's his brother. Oh, fuck, there's his brother.
no.
Oh, shit, there's his brother.
I did not spot this. Does his brother look like him, or what's the deal?
well,
Is
in
that
this
the guy
movie-
singing?
He's the guy.
karaoke guy.
He's like
Yes.
he's in costume in this film.
Gary
I forgot
Valentine.
it.
She's
Okay.
a little runaway.
Is that his real name?
I think it's a Martin Sheen, a Charlie Sheen scenario where like the brother has the right
Oh.
name and like an Estevez scenario.
Sheen,
You
okay.
mentioned it.
yeah.
It still feels like a movie during this scene. I think a reason for that is they were completely ripping off Cable Guy in this scene.
Oh
Yes,
yes,
yeah,
the
that's
shots
right.
are very similar. The
Exactly.
way they were shooting,
That's true,
The
yeah.
singing, him freaking out once he's drunk.
Well,
like-
all of that, I do that. This was all very troubling. Watching all that, what really just sent me into the next dimension was, and this is the only way I could describe this in my notes, is that we're having an old-fashioned fat off.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
We're
we
here.
are having
We're
a fat off.
We're
in
having
this
a
movie.
big old fat off.
You're in the
came
middle
out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere. You're hitting on someone.
It doesn't
you know
make
what I
any
mean?
sense.
Because he
didn't
shows
even
up and
try.
she's like, "Oh, hey, it's the guy that poked me with his boner earlier. Hi."
He
And-
just humped her for like
Yeah.
10
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
straight.
And like Rannazzisi comes back and says, "Oh, shut up! I just want to hang out with Paul for a minute." He's like, "Okay, awkward cut, nacho contest. Like, you do not want to enter
Is this-
an impromptu food eating contest when you're hitting on someone."
It almost feels like
He's
reshoots.
not even drunk
like
yet.
We needed more fat jokes.
Yeah,
Here's- There's a guess what? Now there's another fat guy at the mall, and we're gonna fat it up.
Not just any fat guy.
Uh-huh.
This is little Hercules. Hercules.
That is
Hercules.
Hercules.
It is indeed.
Wow.
It is him. It was the man himself.
Well, yeah, they had
Jamal Mixon as Leon in this film.
Yeah.
we
Working
had
at the
to-
hot sauce kiosk.
Oh, absolutely,
Yes.
dude. I mean, we got so many
That's true.
kiosk people here. Also attending this weird after party thing is Eric Weezen the Juice guy Avari.
Yes.
Yes.
As the dude who works at like the cell phone kiosk.
But he is moderating this nacho eating. I mean, look, and again, like it's just, hey, blah blah blah. We're having a good time. What do you think you're gonna do for Thanksgiving? Awkward cut. Now it's like nacho. You got 5 seconds to eat all those nachos, and I'm like, wait, what?
because all right. So the whole thing of the whole like crux of this scene is
Yes.
he accidentally consumes alcohol
Uh-huh.
and he gets fucking wasted and makes a fool of himself in front of Amy. That's fine. Their delivery system for this was, like Chris said, a good old fashioned fat off. We're having this fucking nacho contest.
Yes, sir.
Where I guess the idea is like whoever finishes the whole plate of these like ultimate
yeah.
nachos first wins nothing.
No. Not even free nacho.
They won't.
No.
They're not going to win a date with Amy. That's for sure.
Yeah, you win a
No.
fucking echocardiogram. That's what you win. But so he eats like jalapenos that are on the nachos and it's too hot and he needs something to drink. And he starts chugging what he thinks is lemonade.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
This is why it's a high school movie.
Yes, you're right.
He's
You're
a
right.
child. He
this
doesn't know what
is a McLovin movie.
Yeah.
exactly. He doesn't know what alcohol is.
He's
And
got
then
a 13-year-old daughter. What are you talking about?
and then he starts tripping like he's on every drug in the world.
It's Jim from American Pie. Like
Yes.
he's just accidentally buffooneering.
Now
everywhere.
that's what should happen is he should go home and fuck that pie. You know, put a little
Absolutely.
peanut butter on there.
He's done it
yeah.
at least once, Eric.
So
you
the
know he's
pie-
done it once.
So the pie licks it back. He puts
Well, that-
the peanut butter.
Yeah, he's
on.
like, all right, pie. Now I'm putting the peanut butter on me.
yeah.
By the way, Kevin George Knipfing, Knipfing. That was
Whoa. So what does
OG
it deal with this
Okay.
Gary Valentine guy?
similar. He was
Just a-
Gary Knipfing, and they were just like, "I'll be Valentine, you be James."
Yeah.
You know what?
That is something.
Valentine's worse. That's just such a
It is.
showboat piece of shit name.
Unless
Also-
you're really attractive, it never works.
Just use your real name.
Yeah,
Well, you're not putting, what is it, Conniption? What's his name?
Knipfing.
I put my fucking garbage on this show.
Well,
Why-
you
why
should have been
not?
fucking Eric Johnson, dude. Now it's too
If I was
late.
Eric Johnson, I wouldn't be here. I'd be fucking starring in fat movies.
Shallow Hal 4.
Oh,
Exactly.
God. Stay tuned for that fucking fat phobia movie.
But
by
yeah,
the
he's
way.
now he's like drunk, like full on drunk,
And this is like, you're getting kicked out. I'm sorry.
Yes.
He's fucking climbing on tables and falling all over strangers.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. That stuff is definitely getting you kicked out. But this, the fat off, I do think It seems like a weekly thing. I got to be honest. It
does.
seems like it's scheduled. I think
But
American
at
Joe
the
is
same-
funding
But
this.
at the same time, he says he wasn't going to go to America Joe's because why would he go to this social obligation?
But like they act
here's the
like
thing.
it's a
Here's
thing.
the thing. Here's the thing. You're both right because this is an incompetently made movie. They do act like it is totally not the first time they've had a Nacho off. But Eric, they also say why would I go there? Everybody hates me.
Well, this great question,
Terribly
but
written.
I think that like he's afraid when Amy invites him over there. He knows like shit. If I go there, I'm gonna have to have a Nacho off. And that's gonna get, shit's gonna get real.
Excuse me, Stephen.
Fat off.
A what
A
off?
fat. It's a
fat
fat.
off.
It's a
Yeah.
fat off.
A
and then he
nacho
starts
off.
feeling up Wheezing the Juice guy's face, and he's just standing there like, that's fine.
Yeah, just taking it. Which, man, you know what? You need at least 20 to 30% more Wheezing the Juice guy in this
Of course.
movie. Eric Gavari is
Absolutely.
fucking great. Steve said it on the group chat the other night. Eric Gavari should be in something that gets him nominated for an Academy Award.
I agree.
Sure.
He's fucking great.
Mhm.
Not enough in this movie. He's just getting molested by
But
Kevin
instead,
James.
he's going to get Farina.
Yeah, he always
Probably.
definitely Farina.
Yep,
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Well,
No doubt
yeah,
about it.
because I would like to see more wheeze in the juice and less wheeze in the face. This is it's supposed to be funny because he doesn't know how to act when he's drunk. He's 47 years old, and it's just God.
I think it's very important, just because what Eric said, it might have sent shockwaves throughout the community.
Uh-oh.
He will be Farinaed whenever it is that happens.
Yes.
God bless.
Yes.
Eric Gavari is still very much
on this
alive and
planet.
well.
As of this recording on May 31st, 2023,
Thank
if it's
you.
after that, he's dead.
Yeah.
Well, whenever Eric-
7:22 p.m.
Whenever Eric Gavari dies, it'll be exactly his death in Daredevil, where Daredevil's Billy Club goes through his heart for no reason, and Bullseye goes, Bullseye. Just an
I
FYI.
forgot that. Wow.
Oh,
Did we do that as an episode?
We did.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Years ago.
Oh yeah.
Hey, sure.
Speaking of Bullseye, stay tuned for the climax of this movie.
Oh, yes.
The one time I think I genuinely laughed.
Ooh, okay.
I can't wait to hear about
I
this.
had a legit laugh in this one. I'm going to be honest.
I had a couple. I'll see if I can
Really?
point out what happens. So, speaking of that bad editing that we keep talking
Yes.
about, like this whole thing happens. The scene ends with him going, "I believe in magic." I think the line is, and he
Because he's
falls out
singing
the
with
window.
the guy.
Yeah, and so that actually, him falling through the window was indeed a legitimate laugh on my part. But so he falls out this window, and it cuts to the single saddest Thanksgiving
Oh,
I
my
have
God.
ever seen.
Holy
Oh, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I mean, there's probably like a movie out there where someone has Thanksgiving in prison, and it's much more fun
it's
than
sadder
this.
than an American movie when we're watching Uncle Bill.
Oh,
And
there
like,
you go.
that toenail's going to cut me right in half, man.
Oh my God, it's so fucking miserable.
It's
like
grim.
it's the mother and him and the daughter, and he's in the middle of the table. Also, it's literally like the day after.
Yes,
Right.
it's a full day. This is obviously a Wednesday before Thanksgiving
Yeah, yeah.
drunk
Sure.
off thing.
But and this is my problem with this, because I thought, oh, okay, it must be days later because he's not viciously hungover.
yes.
And they don't even make an effort to broadcast that he should be hungover. He's going around the whole time being like, I don't drink. This would be a massive hangover for
Yeah,
this dude.
it's true.
And he's just, it's Thanksgiving because there's a turkey on the table. But again, it's like just mid sentence, and it's just like, so you don't think she likes you anymore, huh? And he's like, yeah, I don't think she does. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Can I see another room of this house that
Yeah.
not the fucking eat-in kitchen?
No,
Well,
because there's no exit.
Paul
Aaron.
Blart needs to eat.
Right, it's fat off, and this is a fat in. You get fat inside.
Thanksgiving would be nice if there was like extended family. Maybe there's a silly uncle at the table. You know,
No.
Sure.
No,
Nope.
Get
no.
a few
Nope.
characters. Yeah,
Sure.
that'd be nice.
The
I'm
Blarts are
surprised.
small and few, winnowed down.
you know, there was a time when our proud tribe came over on the Mayflower, but now us Blarts, few and far between.
Well, yeah, Uncle Jack used to come, but when our beautiful Paul started yelling "Pie now" to him, he said he would never see him again.
I couldn't believe this move though. Like, this is why for a second I thought it can't be Thanksgiving, because he just gets up and he goes, "All right, well, I'm turning in," and I was like, "Excuse me, you're eating a Thanksgiving meal. You're not going to like help clean up? It's
No,
fucking Thanksgiving. You know that kitchen's
or
destroyed."
spend time with your goddamn daughter. You're
Listen, he
Nope.
works at the mall making all the money that somehow finances this diet?
I mean, it's a great
This whole
question.
family,
His house.
is she
as
on
well.
like no? What is
No,
what
the
is
mom's
situation?
the mom is definitely retired. She's probably got a boatload of money from some real job that she had.
Right, and
That
Social
is-
Security, and then the
Yes.
father exploded from eating too much or something, and then that somehow parlayed into some insurance, I guess.
Yes.
And he's like so sad, and he goes up to his room, and we're fucking looking at his computer while Barry Manilow's Weekends in New England plays,
Of
which
course.
sure I guess is a fine Thanksgiving song.
He's
I
got no.
suppose.
He cries in this scene.
He cries over the receipt. It's a receipt that she wrote Amy
Yeah.
on, like exclamation
Dude,
point.
And
he
like-
held onto this wig receipt, by the way.
Ke-
Oh, God.
Kevin James, like, I can't tell because you can cry and it can be funny,
Sure.
you know, but like you can also like Farley, like he has scenes of genuine pathos where you're like,
Yeah.
I feel for this guy.
Like Tommy Boy.
It's
full of it.
Like
Full
you
of
feel,
it.
it's full of it. Are you trying to go for that in this scene? Like,
It's
what's
a great question.
happening?
It's a great question because the cry is ambiguous.
It is.
It just sort of comes off as pathetic. But to
Yes.
your point, like it's not a funny cry and it's not a sad cry. It's
No.
just sort of a cry.
It's just and it's like that sort of flatness to it, I think, is one of many reasons why Kevin James.
Did you say flatness or fatness?
He said flatness.
Oh, okay. Just
I
checking.
mean, both do work.
Hey.
Now we are looking at this room.
He
and
belongs
like,
on
so
the small screen.
He's a,
Yes.
he does. Yes. Yeah. yeah.
We got a single guy,
Mm.
go nowhere job,
Yeah.
lives with his mother, no prospects, not a lot going on.
Yep.
You know he's getting up to some stuff on this computer in 2009. My question
Oh
is,
yeah.
what do you think the amount of gigs of pornography
Yeah.
are stored on that computer? Because like this computer's working overtime. I'll tell you right
I
now.
think he's
it's,
cracked-
it's sweating just as much as he is.
He's cracked all the gals at Aeropastel's MySpaces too. That's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Anyone's got him on private.
What-
She's figured it out.
He's
When
saving
that-
pics.
When that door shuts, that he gets his sliver on. Oh my god! Here
Absolutely.
comes the boom, baby. Yeah.
I think he's going to like a Best Buy and he's buying like one of those like 7 terabyte fucking external hard drive and
Oh,
just
yeah.
pack it full.
Yep.
Just have as much as you want. Your pick of it.
Solid stain.
Have it by year. Like just pornography by year.
My pornography throughout the years.
You know what? I'm going to look at this PDF of
Hey.
1972 Penthouse. Why not? You just change it up tonight.
This folder's just pictures of burgers. There's some videos of fried chicken in here.
His daughter does come up to him and she's like, it's going to get better or something. And he's like, yeah. Does she at least even say that she's going to bring him the food the next day here? Or I think we just have to assume it.
I don't know if it's here, but there is something somewhere where she's like, I'm going to go give him food. I don't know if
How
it's here or
about
what.
she-
Just
Yes.
kidnap bait. That's it.
Oh yeah, kidnap bait. Exactly. How about she has something going on? Maybe she's
No.
having trouble at school, and there's a
No.
parallel that he can maybe actually give fatherly advice.
You
or
know what
anything.
that isn't? That isn't Paul Blart.
That's right.
That's not him. If
Very
it's not about
anti-Blart. You're
Exactly.
right.
if it's not about him, fuck it.
Eat the pie and shut up.
And
Also-
oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's super hilarious because he's got a little like lower back tattoo of
Yeah.
the Loch
Oh,
Ness monster, and
Which
she's
is
like, "What is that?" And he's like, "It's the Loch Ness monster. I don't drink."
he got drunk at that thing, fell out the window, got a full. That tattoo would take more than one appointment.
Yes.
First of
Well,
all.
Well,
especially
that's
the-
no, it's a 2-part joke, you see, because the
Is
first
it?
part it's just the little stamp on the lower back, Loch Ness monster.
The
At
Nessie
the end of the
stamp.
movie, where he's
Oh.
fallen over again, and the shirt has opened up. Then the joke
He's
is
got-
there's this huge back tattoo, which yes, no tattoo artist would do in a single sitting in a night.
Well, I'm glad it paid off.
He's part of the Yakuza. Is, I think what happened.
I think he's hiding a very intense alcoholism because the way he like it's almost like he like goes out of himself and he says, "I don't drink."
Yeah.
Like
Is
it's
this-
very like militant.
Is
Like
that some Blart lore going on there? Like, are we
don't-
to
it has
believe?
to be.
Did
Like,
anyone read the novel?
I meant no. I
Based on
have
the
it.
book by John Updike.
Is that how he sired his daughter with a con artist,
He was
border
just
crosser?
yeah, he was just
like,
drunk all the
He
time.
sucked down some margs in Tijuana.
Makes a lot of sense. Like that makes more sense than anything else I've been told told in this
She
movie.
artificially inseminated herself with a soda pop straw that he had around.
Jeez.
A real
trying to-
MacGyver situation.
Pick Pixie Stick.
Yes,
We've been like pushing Black Friday in this movie, and when Black Friday comes, it's just another day at the mall.
Is this,
It is.
is
It
this
doesn't
a
matter.
Christmas movie or is it a
It's a-
Thanksgiving?
I guess
movie?
we call it a
It's
Thanksgiving.
a Thanksgiving movie.
It's full of like fucking Christmas music.
But
Well,
it's-
because
the thing,
that's-
it's Black
that's-
Friday. It's the
that's
next
what
day,
happens.
dude.
And you know what you want in January is a movie about Christmas and Thanksgiving.
You know you want in June?
you know what?
Thanksgiving.
They'll take it and they'll like it.
No, but Eric, I think you're totally right because of the proximity, man. We just fucking
Yeah.
finished the holidays as they are.
But I
and then
guess-
it's like, now there's more.
Exactly. It proved me wrong because there must be such fetishists for Christmas. I know that.
Oh, of course
That's
there
why
are.
this made over 100 million.
That's exactly. I mean, like the risk paid off. Like they were like, what if we just right over the line, like the week after Christmas?
Listen, I
New
could
Year's.
not tell you what information is given in the Paul Blart trailer, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's no mention of Black Friday or Christmas or anything like that.
But I mean,
It's
it
just
doesn't.
a dumb mall cop.
Look, Black Friday is rife for jokes, right? People getting trampled. Paul Blart being like, "Hey, put that action figure down,
Sure,
that
right,
Elmo
yes.
down, or whatever that joke is."
Right.
Not here.
You know
Just
how
not anywhere
how
near
easy
here.
it is to have people throwing TVs around. You just put it. It's a box.
Yeah,
It's just a
exactly.
cardboard
I mean,
box.
they're already stealing from like cable guys. I steal from the Schwarzenegger Jingle All
Yeah,
the Way.
exactly.
You know?
Steal
Totally
from
right.
Commando.
Right?
Paul
I mean,
Blart
what-
has to go to like a fake Latin American country.
Oh, but there's also a mall scene in Commando with
Oh,
the
you're totally
elevator.
right.
Oh,
You're
Yes,
totally
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Hey. And I guess maybe they kind of do with the jungle stuff later on, but like they don't
Oh,
even
my
go
Lord.
all the way with it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
No.
You know,
What is
people,
that? The
many
Rainforest
people
Cafe?
have gone all the way in the Rainforest Cafe.
Oh God, just getting jacked off next to a plastic
Oh, yeah.
frog, dude.
the sound of that croaking
There are
gets me.
thousands of people listening who were conceived in a rainforest cafe.
Because it's a dark restaurant. The fog machine's going. Who knows what's
It's-
going on in those booth corners?
It's
Yep.
a vibe.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Or possibly to be a scotch more specific, a Rainbow Cafe bathroom.
Yeah.
That's where
Sure,
you might
yeah.
possibly conceive.
My father was a waiter at the Rainforest Cafe. My mother was a manager at the Rainforest Cafe, and they got it on top of that plastic frog.
But like,
Oh yeah, they sure did.
so he doesn't have a cell phone, and like that's kind of the next movement in the movie. He's like, I don't have a cell phone. He goes to Eric Avari, who works at a appliance store, and he's like, $300. It's like, well, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. What do you
Not
want
an
me to fuck?
appliance store, man. One of these kiosks because he
That's right.
only associates with
The kiosk
folk.
Yeah, okay.
Which is weird. Like none of the because like the dude from Nutty Professor Hercules, right?
Yeah.
He works at a hot sauce
Kiosk.
kiosk.
Yeah.
Like he will not befriend
I
people
think
in the stores.
this
Because
is-
they are outsiders. They are like, you know, they are not they are not like the stores. They don't get that kind of
I
respect.
love how high end you're going with this. It's really just they couldn't get permission to film in the stores. I think, right?
But you do have like real stores that he's going in later.
Yeah.
He goes into a Champs. He goes into the fucking Sharper Image. Like
The Hallmark store.
I will say,
Well, Sharper Image, that was a going away sale. Film here, please. Fucking Christ.
I think he might go into a Tivana. I don't know for sure.
the Eden Prairie Mall, all the stores were Greeked for that. They set up fake stores.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, and
I kind
remember
of like that better.
One of them was like really cool looking. I was like, "Oh, awesome! This is gonna be like around when like the movie wraps up." And then of course it goes away.
so that all right, that's a question. What was the like turnover time to like dial everything back? Like in other words, when the shoot wrapped,
Yeah,
was shit like left there for a
Yes.
while? Yeah, that's what I was gonna
So
guess.
what was
Yes.
it? Like
Yep.
casual mail? Like what was
Oh,
what was the
casual
store?
mail.
Fashionable mail.
Fashionable
Oh,
mail.
right,
Sorry,
right.
I know that so well. Apologies.
I mean,
Well, you're wearing your fashionable mail T-shirt today.
part of the reason that was such a like prime spot is because the place was a dump.
Right.
And,
Oh, yeah.
like half the stores were closed to begin with, so they're just like,
Oh.
we're gonna get this for cheap, and we've got plenty of real estate.
like the
to, like,
money that Universal.
Buy Me Toys is another store.
Oh, right.
That's
yes.
the one I was
Right.
like,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
this
really?
place is fucking sweet. Like,
Like
you know, 10-year-old and 12-year-old Ben.
the fee that Universal must have paid the Eden Prairie Mall was just enough to cover the demolition. was like they were like, all right, Universal Pictures, listen, it's going to cost us this amount of money to knock this place to the ground. Give us that, and you can film in here all you
Make
want.
the transfer when dynamite is selling low, because we're gonna need a lot of it to lay across the barrier.
But wait a second, is Eden Prairie Mall, is the structure still around? I can't imagine it's a mall still.
No, it kind of continued its slide post Mallrats, and then someone plunked some change down, and they revamped it up like around.
Oh,
the-
so the structure still
Oh
stands?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
nice
It's like
now, huh?
it's all
That's fucked up.
reskinned.
They knocked our mall down.
yeah. It's just like outside shops now. Like for,
Yeah,
like
it's fucking
strip
ugly.
mall-ish,
Well, it was
yeah.
easy. It was a barn, so just
Yeah.
shove it over.
I mean, we're talking Minnesota, man. This is the land of 10,000 malls.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well,
You
you think that if that's the case,
You
then
don't get
this,
to 10,000 by knocking them down.
But you also think it would be expendable due to the fact you have 10,000.
Well,
yeah, all right,
yeah,
fine.
they're-
That's
you're cutting up trees.
9,900.
I mean, let's be honest. Mall of America's for the tourists. Okay,
Yeah.
That's true,
that's
yeah.
like Times Square.
It's not a deep cut.
So anyway, Eric Avari gives
Yes.
him his daughter's cell phone because he doesn't have enough money.
This is fucking stupid.
I agree. I totally
correct.
agree.
But it
very
adds
dumb.
so much to the feature going forward.
Oh,
God
sure.
damn it.
Because he gives the money. He gives them the money for it. It's like, oh, and I'm punishing my daughter. She went over her minutes. That was something we were very concerned about. 2009.
Minutes,
Going over those
absolutely.
minutes, dude.
Absolutely.
Going
You
over
know,
the-
Handing your daughter's phone to a stranger.
Exactly, dude.
No, they are best friends. He's already molested his face at American Joe's.
Yes.
That's
Anybody
fair.
else would have killed him for that. Like I do get that. Like if you do that to not Jamie Bell, he's kicking you right in the nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what the romance should be, right? Right?
Yeah.
What?
Weez and the Juice and Kevin James.
Oh,
shit.
yes. In
Why
the
the
nights.
fuck not? They seem to hit it off. They've got a great relationship. They're
that
both
is-
raising teen girls that are,
True.
could use some help.
That's
maybe.
Harmony Corine's.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
He's gonna make a
Oh, it's just
sequel.
called Blart, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
He gets his cell phone and he's still feeling really down, and his buddy who runs the arcade is like, hey, would you mind closing the arcade? I got to make a money drop, and that's what I'm gonna do, and that's gonna set up the rest of the movie. You guys should all set up the rest of the movie.
So Kevin James closes up this arcade, locks himself inside it to. You see, he can't just go have fun playing Guitar Hero. First, you have to have this guy once again humiliate himself by
this?
doing this like treadmill
A
track and
tread-
field game.
Yeah.
Treadmill-
decathlon.
a treadmill video game, which I'm shocked he didn't break jumping up and down on.
I mean, it wouldn't exist if it did exist. It would be the least popular game in that entire mall.
Yeah. I wonder if it did. I mean, because there was a
like an old NES thing.
yes,
right?
there was
Oh, the
there was
track and field
NES
game, yeah.
track and
Yeah.
field thing, and you had the ball and you know the rolly ball
Yes.
control. Like I remember playing that. They had it in like the activities room of my Sunday school for some reason, and I can
Wow.
only imagine because it was like some fucking dude stole it off the back of a truck and it wound up in my definitely mobbed up church I grew up in.
I'm very much of the opinion that all exercising video games should be outlawed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're going to do it at home, for crying out loud. Do not bring it to the mall.
Yeah.
Like I also think like Guitar Hero is something you should be playing at home, not in the mall necessarily.
It is a weird thing. and
It's
I
Rock
think-
Band, by the way, because
Rock
he's
Band,
singing.
sorry.
Oh, yes, you're totally right. The microphone component. I think it's a commercial for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because
There's a-
those things are real. They
There is
totally
a-
exist.
a very prominent PlayStation 3.
yes.
like
right above the screen.
There you
It's-
go.
That was a moment in time when like the Rock Band, Guitar Hero, one
Yeah.
singular moment,
Oh,
and it's
God.
been over, and no,
It was a
no one's
singular
ever gone
moment
back.
along with the fucking now I want to call it a treadmill. The Segways.
Yes,
you know,
sure.
all these phones. It is such a in amber movie in this way.
It's never like there's no like new Guitar Hero that anyone's like, oh man, they made a new Guitar Hero like for the Switch. That's amazing.
No.
Like, that doesn't
No.
exist.
They just added the drums.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that's
people-
kind of it.
People don't want to buy hardware. it
Yeah,
turns
that's a
out,
good
I think.
point.
It was
Yeah.
like rock, like Guitar Hero, then Rock Band, and then I remember having Beatles Rock Band,
Yes,
which
of
was pretty
course.
fun. And then I
That-
never thought about it again.
The case for Beatles Rock Band, it was like it was filled with concrete. It was enormous.
So what's that? More drums? So you beat more? Is that what that's about?
It would be a thing. Like,
bring
oh,
those
I'll go over to
drum
Andrew's house. He's going to rearrange his living room, and we're going to play a video game.
we are moving furniture to game, baby.
Oh.
You better believe it.
Both of those, Guitar Hero and Rock Band, they were a godsend for sitcoms. Because if you need your fucking characters to be doing something while they say bullshit to each other and jokes that do not work, they should just be playing the little guitar thing, and that's it.
And I'm not ragging on them. I had so much fun with those things. But you know what I think did it in? Remember that Donkey Kong like bongo game?
Yeah.
I think that's when the world was like, you know what? We spent so much time asking what we could do. We never asked if we should do it in the first place.
I'm the person who is like, what we need is a bongo video game, and you fire that person. So, you know what? I don't like firing people. That's just parallel. Put them in a different place. Research and development.
Now, tell me if I'm daydreaming here, but I think another nail in the coffin for that shit was I believe there was a DJ hero.
I'm pretty sure there
where
was,
you were
yeah.
like scratching on a fake turntable.
There was also a scumbag record executive
Really?
hero.
Hero?
That was you would like hang out with bands, do fake cocaine, and like fuck them out of royalties. It was that was the point of the game.
Roadie Hero was great because you were like just pushing cases up ramps, you
Yes.
know, and being surly the whole time.
I liked the little thing with the controller where they gave you the little rolled up dollar bill that was plastic, just to see if you could do it.
You missed part of that line. You only got 73% of it. Try again.
You have to sniff into the microphone.
You weren't close enough.
The roadie game was great though, because you press X for I'm on my lunch break. I'm on my lunch break.
I'm union.
So yeah, he gets wrapped up in this rock band.
Speaking of fake cocaine, he does a line of pixie sticks before playing it.
God
Of
damn,
course.
that's fucking
Yeah.
stupid, isn't
And,
it?
Power
and he
up.
misses that the new movie is starting. He had no idea that the movie was going to be totally
Oh my
different.
god!
And it's just this is these parkour rollerblading fucking
Skateboarding, bike riding, fucking BMX bandits,
What is
dude.
that's the enemy of the fat, right?
Ah, yes.
It's the active.
Well, yes, active and tattooed.
Yes, yeah.
That's key
And
to it.
quasi cool, right? Because the
Yeah, yeah.
guy's got long hair, one of them, and he's skateboarding, and it's like,
I've got a gun and I'm on a skateboard.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and
Check
this is
this out.
I think
Ollie, pop, pop, pop. That's ridiculous.
it is absolutely ridiculous.
And
Nose
they-
grind.
They just go full into it.
Yeah.
I would love to see someone actually get shot, though. That'd be something.
Oh,
That would be nice.
I will say, because when they hit me, I'm going to acknowledge it. If I remember, another legitimate laugh here for me is he's rocking the fuck out, and the music's so loud that he can't hear what's going on when this siege is happening. And you have this shot of like, sort of like the POV of the game screen, basically, and you're looking at Kevin James head on, and behind him, all of these people are banging on the door for help as like people are running out of the
pretty
mall
funny, yeah.
screaming.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Meanwhile, there's something. It's like a bombs are on the side of the mall, and like Alan Covert is like about to. He just kind of gets written out of the movie by getting scared, and you as the movie goer have to be like, that coward. I'm like, no, he's a fucking mall security
Yeah,
guard.
it's like-
he should be totally gone.
These guys come in, and he's like, oh, hey, yeah, it's mall's closed. We're not letting anyone in. And they're like, oh, I think we're getting in. And he's like, okay, goodbye, movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Totally fair.
He's gone.
Oh, Detroit Rock City is the song that Kevin
Yes.
James is playing on Rock Band. By the
Which
way.
is a great song for a movie set in New Jersey.
Yep, makes
And
total sense.
it's filmed
Right,
in
yeah.
Massachusetts. By the way, the Burlington Mall outside of Boston, apparently. I
Yeah.
looked,
Okay.
my field team found out this information.
The funny thing though was they tried to shoot at a mall in Jersey, and the fucking mall was like, "No, you can't do that." Like,
God bless them.
Yes.
I don't know, mall. It's a mall, and you're making this movie in
Right.
2008. You need all the publicity
Yes.
you can get.
No, we don't. We're burning it down for the insurance money.
Okay, good point.
The mall in West Orange, New Jersey, that prominently features legal seafoods.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't get more New England. than, like,
Right out front.
There was
Yeah.
there's some legal seafood made it up here at least.
We have
I've never
legal
To White Plains.
yes,
yeah.
I never stepped foot
There
inside.
was illegal seafood upstate. There was one in Colony, I believe.
Wow.
But wasn't that like recently-ish.
I don't know about that.
I
maybe
forget-
it was a knockoff.
But
It might
kids
have
at home, the health inspector now said it's illegal seafood.
Really?
Yes.
So you won't be seeing them.
It was
Are they still
barely
around?
legal seafood because it's fucking fast food fish, dude. Not a great idea.
But
Yeah.
I think the thing that they tried to present themselves as was like, listen, we're the legal seafoods company. We're a little classier than Red
Yes.
Lobster.
That's
exactly
That was it.
You can go for your Cheddar Bay biscuits, shithead, or you can come have a nice meal.
You could come here and have the most subpar chowder you've ever had. You like really salty chowder? Well, then we've got you.
You like
Do
a
you
bread
like-
bowl? You like a bread bowl?
Do you like your fish
strap in.
undercooked and not successfully deboned? Come right this way.
Enjoy.
You think they were mobbed up?
Legal seafood company?
Yeah. Like, it's
that
just
could
like
be.
Trust me. It's,
You know
it's
what?
legal.
legal.
If they
It's
are,
legal.
I retract my statement.
Yes.
And I
No way, I
respect
like
True.
them
It's the
now.
greatest restaurant chain to ever exist.
Great franchise.
Exactly.
But so everyone, it's all in the bank in the mall now, and like
Yeah.
Amy is there.
The
guy-
mall bank.
yeah,
What a bleak place to go to.
it is
Absolutely.
grim, dude. The carpet made me depressed just looking at it.
I'll tell you what, though, it wasn't me personally. I did my banking outside of the mall, but
Sure.
it was the thing. Like a lot of people we worked with, it was like, oh, you
Do
got
your
the
drop.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went right down and you deposited your paycheck at the mall bank. A lot of people did that. So this oddly
Ouch.
rang kind of true for me.
Yes, that's
when,
what
no, when,
I
when
heard.
I when I worked retail, dude, I was going to the check cashing place.
Oh, Jesus, dude. You get a
Grim.
fucking coupon for a bottle of whiskey.
You gotta give them,
All
give them their
right.
slice. Huh?
Oh, yeah, they gotta
20%
cut
for
you.
you, my good man.
Here's $3.75 for you and $1.75 for me. We're doing it right away.
So was there one pain between you and him, or two pains?
Oh, there was at least two.
Okay,
It was. I didn't have a bank account because I was an idiot. It just was what it was. But it was a gross existence going to the check cashing place.
So it turns out Beck.
Push exactly. Here's my check, and I like Steamboat Harry in the fourth race. Thanks so much, yeah, Harry.
Yeah. I'm going to cash my work check and also place a bet on a horse. Absolutely. So here's the big turn because Amy's all, hey, he said get down. What are you doing? Vec, you're still standing because he's in on it. And not only is he in on it, he's like the ringleader of the whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
He's
What?
the leader.
What a twist.
Didn't see it coming. man.
Absolutely, dude.
And his thing
Talk
is
about titty twisting a sweaty breast.
And his thing is, I want everyone, all of my minions who are cutely named after,
Reindeer?
reindeer,
Like-
yeah, Rudolph,
Yeah.
whatever, Blitzen, whatever.
So Christmas movie, like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, well,
It's
that's
just,
it.
it's on the. Here's the thing. It's. How about this?
Black
It's-
Friday movie.
It's not a Black Friday or Thanksgiving movie, and it's not a Christmas movie. It's a movie that takes place at the holidays.
But
But
you
it's
know,
kind of all encompassing. We get a lot of holidays
Yeah.
here.
I don't want to
You
be
sure
Mr.
do.
Blitzen. why do I have to be Mr. Blitzen?
Because another guy and another job is Mr. Donner. You're Mr. Blitzen.
I mean, there's
All
so many-
mapped out. We're gonna get the codes.
There's
We're
other
gonna
options.
fly off on my plane.
The codes, so they have to go. All of his
This
guys have
is-
to go and use
Makes no
invisible
sense.
ink on their arms
Ugh.
to write the code
Mhm.
for every machine. And again, I
What
think it's
even-
identity theft.
But what even is this?
I don't. It doesn't make sense. It would make more sense. Like, it's the biggest retail night of the year. We're gonna rob all those registers,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's gonna be
course.
whatever
Or like,
it is.
Hey,
all
that,
the-
that sounds like a plot.
That sounds
Or
like
like-
Bad Santa.
All
Yeah.
the stores store their money in the mall bank or
Yes.
something.
It
Something.
sounds like what the fucking sticky bandits are doing in
Also.
Home Alone 2 Lost
Yeah.
in New York.
Also,
which
yeah.
is why I feel it was like maybe a little too close. And they're like, someone might have a case on this one.
So it's a little late for this plot to happen. It's also a little late for Adam Ferrara to show up.
But I like Adam
I
Ferrara.
do too.
I think he's a great stand-up.
I
He was
think
pretty
Adam-
good on Rescue Me too.
I think Adam Ferrara as Vec. Now you've got a movie.
that would be
If
something.
he's like, oh, Kevin James, how dare you fat idiot? You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
going at it. You know,
Yeah.
his Long Island accent's just spreading like a bird.
Absolutely.
Well, if we're talking
That
about-
thing is flying through this movie.
The talent, I mean, like, it wouldn't work because he couldn't be his underling, but Bobby Cannavale as
Sure.
Beck would certainly get me more interested very quick.
Well, this-
Cannavale
remember,
shows up late.
This is a 2009 Bobby Cannavale, dude.
So you're still
not
quite there.
Super famous.
But his
yeah.
dick was still huge, though. Don't worry.
Still
about
huge.
Is that
penis,
right?
Absolutely.
Is there
Oh my
pictures,
God.
pictures of that era?
it. No, I was watching Boardwalk Empire one day.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to watch Boardwalk Empire.
His
I hope I don't
dick
have my
was there?
masculinity destroyed. And then fucking Bobby Cannavale whips it out, and I'm like, well, there goes that.
You know, apparently has a large penis.
Who's that?
Harpo Marx.
Wow.
It's really, that's why he's always honking on something.
I'd believe it. I believe
Bigger
it.
bit than Gumbo Blart.
You think that's a genuine penis? Because sometimes people put on a little something extra.
Oh, interesting. No, he was,
No,
he's
Reek the
running
penis.
around with
No,
it.
he's
That's
for
the thing.
real. He's always going to be number 2 to Defoe because Defoe's penis scared Lars von Trier. You just nobody can do. Like Lars von Trier is on record
All right,
being like,
guys.
I couldn't show his penis.
That's
it was
because he
too
looked
big.
at it and he looked at it and the cock went, chaos reigns.
I am now Googling
Confusingly large.
Bobby Cannavale penis.
Uh-huh.
You know what?
See if I
This
can
definitely
find it.
exists on Paul Blart's solid state.
Oh,
hard
totally.
drive.
Totally. Yeah, because he's got a
it?
whole drive for celebs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, now I'm doing because. All right, now I'm doing Bobby Cannavale penis boardwalk.
You
Let's see what happens.
haven't seen it yet because Steam hasn't come out of your ears yet.
Well, no, because like all these sites want to be classy and show me the moments before, and I'm like, get to the fucking
What
cock.
sites? Just Google image search that
Choo-choo.
shit.
It
Oh,
wasn't
Eric just
turning
saw
up.
it.
Okay, all right. Let me go back to Google image search. It wasn't providing me anything before. But
You got
okay.
safe search on, dude?
Well, that's a good question.
You might also just go to Reddit. Go to the source.
Yeah, you guys continue.
All right, so
I'll
while
be
Eric
looking at
figures that out,
penis.
I was
so
gonna find the penis.
Well, but the Bobby Cannavale thing is like, that's when this is like, we're make no bones about it. We're ripping off Die Hard. We're make no
Yes.
bones
Yeah,
because
Very
Adam
clear.
Ferrara is like controlling the scene, and then all of a sudden Bobby Cannavale shows up as a SWAT team guy, and he's like, now I'm controlling the scene, and I'm the tough guy here, and blah
Sure.
blah blah.
he comes in a bit later than
He
where
does,
we're at
he
right
does.
now.
By the way, his character super lame. in this.
Just really
It's-
bad because he's a
it
bully
totally
or
sucks.
whatever.
Not great.
Are they also what? Is it just me or I feel like because again like Cable Guy like all these different things that it's like I was like is there airheads in this at all?
I feel like it has to be because like
But you got to spend a little more outside time with the cops if it's an airhead.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
a lot of outside in the parking lot in that movie.
yeah, that's I guess it's because it's a better movie.
But, I mean, you're right about the Airheads. thing.
Airheads. The cast is ridiculous.
Oh,
The
totally.
cast is so stacked. It's
insane.
Incredible.
But I mean, and that's what this movie misses because it keeps trying to cut back and have airheads every time you cut back to the hostages. And you know, you've got Steve Rannazzisi there, and the kid from the Nutty
Clumps.
Professor, etc.
Yeah.
And like you're expecting comedy to happen, but it doesn't. The plot just keeps having to because it just comedy takes a backseat immediately when this plot starts.
Not only does comedy take a backseat, when we're in this bank, I mean, acting takes a backseat. These
Yeah.
people, like, I'm so envious. They got to be in a movie where for most of it, they're just sitting there looking at the fucking floor.
Let it be known, Eric just turned his phone
Yep.
to
Here comes that-
Listen,
here
I'm on a
comes that
website.
steam.
I'm on a website called Men's Celebrities. Let me figure
Sounds
it out.
right.
guys.
Sick plug.
I'm watching a
phone is horizontal.
Yeah, well, that's how you can look at it good,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He's licking his lips like a cartoon wolf.
Come on, where is this shit? He was stooping her, but where's the fucking penis?
Where is the fucking
All right,
penis?
I'll report back soon.
All right,
This is what
we're
Marty
gonna-
was
we're gonna-
saying. on
Apparently,
set
we're putting
too.
the romance scenes on menscelebrities.com.
All right,
and I
all right.
appreciate
The
that.
romance.
There's a very important
Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see
plot
what this
detail that we
is.
need to get in here is that Wheeze and the Juice Guy's daughter's cell phone rings.
Oh,
And
God.
it's her
Oh.
ex-boyfriend, this dude,
Pahood.
Pahood, played by Adir Kalyan, who is Al from that TV series, The United States of Al.
Oh,
How
wow.
you doing,
Oh.
CBS comedies?
Oh,
yikes.
He was also in The Rules of Engagement, which is a David Spade comedy with Patrick Warburton.
Oh,
was-
that television
yes,
show.
he's like,
Oh, not the Samuel L. Jackson, Tommy Lee Jones movie.
No.
Not. It's not the war film.
And then I was triply incorrect because I was thinking of the film Rules of Attraction, which has nothing to do with anything you
nothing,
think.
nowhere. But yeah, his thing is like he's just being silly and like he's obsessed with the girl. And like the only thing that is plot oriented is like, oh, I could track her phone. I know exactly where you are.
Yep.
LOL, I'm a creep. And like that's sort of
Oh,
whatever.
I wonder if that's going to come up later.
it might.
It might.
Chris,
It might just happen.
One of my biggest rights of this movie is like, so Kevin James comes out of the arcade
Mhm.
and he's walking around the mall. First of all, he has the line, oh, mall closed early. It's Black Friday, you fucking idiot. What are you talking about? That was dumb. But so he's walking around and he's like noticing things are a bit off, and he walks past this Dunkin' Donuts, and he notices that all the donuts are still on the shelf, to which he goes, huh, Gary usually delivers the leftovers to the mission. And I was like, yeah, fucking right. Gary does anything with Dunkin' Donuts. What are you talking about? These fucking corporations, dude, they fucking put all that in a bag and throw it out in a dumpster and lock that shit.
they lock it.
This penis is all right. I wish I had some better angles on it.
All right.
You gotta watch the show. Show's very good.
I guess I'll watch the show.
That's
That
where
was
he
good.
uses the penis to fly and take off.
Yeah.
Try and get me now, Steve Buscemi, you fucking idiot. Fuck you, Nucky. Fuck you.
Bobby Canny.
You know, and like I think the first guy is skateboard guy that he runs into, and like and he beats him up, and it's like, okay, that's all right.
Right.
You
So
know,
it should be said that we are now in the movie in a situation where Paul Blart is emerging from his guitar hero rock band haze.
Yes. Still
And
excited. Still shaking with the excitement.
Oh yeah, the pixie stick still present in his bloodstream.
Yes.
Found pixie sticks in his bloodstream. That's what did it.
100%.
He would absolutely do that.
Okay, this site is much better. Queer Click. And you got, they enhanced the shot of the penis.
Yeah,
good.
get that gamma up.
Yeah, you got a little,
Finally, someone doing the work.
Yeah,
What am I looking? Is that the boardwalk?
I get, this is it's kind
It's
of
a
an
God's
upper
eye
angle.
of
God's-
Bobby's dick.
He's taking a shower, you see.
Yeah, much like a Hitchcock.
that looks like
there.
a little blood sausage to me there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Which is delicious.
Put
by
that
the way.
away.
Look at the girth on that fucking thing, man. Are you kidding? When that thing gets hard, holy shit.
yeah, you're in
Eric.
trouble.
Go find Harpo Marx's dick.
Is that on here? For real? Let me see.
It's on Twitter somewhere.
The dicks of 30s comedy legends.
Yeah, that was no, but there's a
Him,
shot.
Fatty Arbuckle.
There's a shot in A Night at the Opera, I think.
That would be
Not
amazing if Bobby Cannavale had to play Harpo Marx in a biopic because the cock was so big.
Look, it's the only thing that makes sense.
The only similarities you got with Harpo is your penis. Everything, and you're taller than he is.
I don't think he's on Men's Celebrities or.
Oh,
that's a
too bad.
goddamn
Son
shame.
of a bitch.
So like, I mean, and this is sort of when the movie gets really, really boring. It's him hiding and like
Taking
always
out people.
Yeah, like there's a bit where like two of them go after him.
Yes.
And this is when
Oh,
he's like,
God.
dude, this fucking air conditioning duct was really industrial. I'll tell you what, man.
It's so weird that this whole thing is like, I mean, it's hanging from the ceiling, I guess, to make this sequence happen. But yeah, it is working overtime.
This is parkour versus fat food right now, right?
This is I got so pissed off because they tried it. This is a moment when he should be farting.
Oh,
And because
Yeah.
but they don't because they think they're fucking classy.
that would be great because then it gets through the vents and starts
Exactly.
seeping out all over
The-
the mall and
look,
people are passing out.
Just nothing but potential for jokes here. But instead, it's I haven't eaten today.
Yes.
I have the belly grumbles.
Yeah, dude.
And
You know
then
what?
That is what leads
I'm
to it.
surprised, gentlemen, we've made it this far without saying Paul Blart. More like Paul Fart.
But he does not fart in this movie. There's
He
zero
should.
farts.
insane.
Instead of being
You know why?
hungry, he should be farting. His ass should be spraying diarrhea.
This movie stinks.
Yes, right.
It does.
The dumb thing here also is, again, like, you're doing Die Hard in the mall and you're putting the protagonist in the vents for a little bit.
Please.
Just shut up.
Come
Just
on.
stop.
God damn it.
Stop what you're doing.
They had to build a vent big enough for Kevin James just to film this.
Oh no,
scene.
it's an enormous vent.
It's like an HVAC unit you'd need at NASA for some reason.
Yeah.
So the display, such as it is in this store, is like there's a bunch of mannequin legs hanging from
Sure.
the ceiling. So that's what he's doing.
Just
Yeah.
like Clute.
Clue?
Clute.
Oh, Clute. Yes. Yeah, a lot of mannequins in Clute, actually. And so this was kind of interesting. The dude that like breaks a fucking like display pole in half and starts jamming it up trying to impale him. That's kind of funny.
yeah, it's kind of scary for a minute. There's 5 seconds of stakes.
Some
in this.
tension. A little bit
like,
there.
that dude runs away and the vent falls on this woman, presumably killing her.
Because that's the thing too is it's such a like in Die Hard he's murdering these people. That's why they. But like he ties up one guy in a in a tanning bed, but everyone else like kind of bonks on the head, and then that they're out of the movie
out
because they're
cold.
bonked on the head.
They got tagged.
It's so aggravating because this movie should write itself. He should be able to take out every one of these parkour robbers with some mall-related like bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the like? I'm going to become the mall.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of thing. Like disappear into the
Right,
mall.
Like, this is my mall. They don't know where all the stuff is.
He can
Yep.
paint tiles on his face and go up against the wall.
He's already a juvenile. Kids turn it into Home Alone in a mall.
Yes,
Exactly.
the gumball machine. They can
Please.
fall
Come
on
on.
that.
You could drown one of them in the orange Julius dispenser.
Absolutely. Drown him.
That could be a thing.
Use a hot dog in some way.
Yes.
Hey, wait a second. Speaking of hot dogs, am I thinking right here? We don't see a food court at all in this movie.
I don't
No.
believe so.
That's fucked up.
Unbelievable.
You know there is one. There's got to be. It's
That's
a
where
mall.
the whole movie should pretty much take place, right?
But
They
they
should be
do-
locked up somewhere, maybe in the back of like the fucking China Walk or the fucking Taco Bell or the Wendy's.
You already have the encased sweaty meat of Kevin James.
Yeah.
Give me a hot dog.
The hot dog idea
Give me
is
an
great.
A&W.
If He shoves a bunch of hot dogs in the guy's mouth, then shoves hot dogs in his eyes, then hot dogs in his
Butt.
nose,
Then one is butt.
his ears,
Butt
and then his butt. Yeah, dude. He shoves
yeah.
it all up his butt. He stretches
Butt
out
dog.
his ass.
And
See,
then
that's
he snaps a pics and sends it to menscelebs.com.
Yeah.
I don't know,
but
man.
like you can at least do that to the guy who's like, I'm going to kill your girlfriend 17 times
No.
in front of your face.
Instead, we'll fall into the ball pit.
Yeah.
And this whole sequence is something, right? Because this guy's got a skateboard. I could see him jumping the roof with this angle.
Sure.
The Segway, not so much. He doesn't even get up to that area. He
Yeah.
just drives it
Falls
forward and goes across, knocks into this guy, falls into a skylight. We are destroying so much of this mall.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
wish.
Paul Blart needs to be brought up on fucking charges.
Oh, he should be. I don't know if that happens. I forget Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. I don't know if that happens, but I hope it does.
And we also have this thing, like really specifically, I think cops try to invade the mall a couple times, and there's like devices that Vec has planted that stops them from doing that. And I think if they do it again, they better use body bags. And then cut to little girl Blart just in the mall with a sandwich. Like, where's my daddy? I'm like, how the fuck did you get in this movie?
Because she's got a fucking like
Oh,
key
key
card
card.
thing that Paul Blart gave her. Like, look, I'm gonna need you to bring me a sandwich halfway through my shift. So here's a security
Yeah,
card for
but
you to get
here's-
anywhere in the mall.
Hey,
Here's-
Dad, why don't you just bring it and put in the community fridge at work? No, you have to come bring it.
No.
You know, because then the bread's gonna get soggy. I need
Yes.
you to make it and get it to me in no less,
Hey,
no more than
Paul
20
Blart
minutes.
is very specific with his food orders, as we know.
Teenage girl, here's a key to everything in the mall. Shoplift with your friends, get fucked up and down the mall.
That sounds great.
You know what's happen? That's what's going to happen.
But that sounds great. I'm much more into that idea than I am to what's happening in the food
She
now.
just shows up and gets kidnapped, and now it's like, oh no, your hot girlfriend and your daughter are both now in danger, I guess, sort of, maybe.
What kind of a
Maybe.
father has his daughter, his flesh and blood, come into the fray of Black Friday to
That's
deliver
true.
him
That's true.
food?
Well, look, but you haven't been in a situation yet in which you need an emergency sandwich.
Lord knows I have.
Yeah, everybody, I mean, it happens to all of us eventually in life, but one day you will also need an emergency sandwich, and you will wish
Yep.
that your progeny had a magical card that gets you in a
Ben, you
mall.
see this bracelet I have here? Yeah, I press this button. Sandwich 20 minutes later. No.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what nephews are for.
It's his
Lights
it's
up
his,
and everything.
It's his sandwich alert bracelet. You see. Bobby Cannavale does show up at some point, a little back from where we're jumping towards, but I just want to bring it up because it's another legitimate laugh because he's like, oh, he goes, Paul Blart. I think I went to high school with that guy. Let me talk to him. And he gets on the phone and he's like, oh yeah, this is me, Bobby Cannavale. Remember me from high school, Blart? I'm the one that set you on fire at the Pancake Festival. That's good.
I like the one before that when he was like, Paul Blart, we used to abuse that loser in high school. That's what he says to the cops. And I like that, abuse that. That's a good one. Legitimate laugh.
Yeah,
There you go.
There's a couple.
Abuse,
There's a couple.
Abuse.
Yeah, the ball pit thing happens. That dude's dead. Yeah, the daughter shows up. Oh, we got to stop the action because as like zeroed in on saving the mall as he is, he's also super horny.
Of course.
Still trying to bag this Amy wig sales lady.
Sure.
right?
Yes.
So he stops everything to try to break into this Hallmark store to get her a birthday card because it's also her birthday on this day. Dumb as fuck.
Well, she also says this is a weird thing, which just makes no sense. She's like, oh, yeah, it's my birthday, but like, good luck anyone ever getting me a card because it's like always Black Friday. I'm like, no, that would happen like once every 7 years. So it would be kind of and Black Friday's kind of a newish phenomenon anyway.
I was born on Friday.
No. My birthday is always the third Friday in November. All right.
And Paul Blart destroys this like Hallmark store's door. And he bursts through it on the Segway to get this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And eventually blows up the fucking Rainforest Cafe.
He does. Well, there's also this bit that's so in the trailer and like so like knee slappingly funny as he gets a cut on his arm and it's a little Hello Kitty Band-Aid. And I mean, like, this was
could you imagine?
This was like this is the third joke of the movie. He's fat, there's a Segway, LOL tiny Band-Aid unfat. That is the third joke of the movie, folks.
And all those that proliferates because what Eric said is absolutely true. Can you imagine? Because that's like, there is no joke to him like stopping in the middle of this to get her a birthday card. It's just like, can you imagine a birthday card in the middle of a hostage situation when his love is right there? Can you even imagine?
He tries to talk tough over the intercom. Again, this is kind of like Bruce Willis talking to the terrorists, you know. But the hypoglycemia kicks in and he passes out and he's got to eat this disgusting lollipop.
Right. Yeah. This is after the costume change. He puts on a black uniform now because he's a badass.
Now it's Blart.
I'm surprised we didn't get any Jet in this.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be my girl?
But because that's way too modern music for Happy Madison's music selection.
The audience wouldn't know what was happening. They'd be confused and scared. All the Gen Xers in the audience.
It sounds exactly like the old music, but it's new. How?
This isn't Sticks. This isn't Sticks. This isn't Sticks.
This is. Oh wait, that was Sticks.
That was it. Okay.
That was a pixie stick.
Great line delivery by one of these X Game non-actors. It's just, we got him trapped in the Rainforest Cafe. Holy shit. Get some actors for this stuff, folks.
Well, they had to get parkour people.
Yeah,
that's
they can't
true.
act like
They have to be able to do gymnastics too.
they flip around shit.
Very useful for credit card fraud.
Absolutely.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
2009.
I think he knocks one over. I think he knocks somebody over something in the Rainforest Cafe, and he bops another one on the head in the Rainforest Cafe. And then the third guy eats a piece of lettuce in the Rainforest Cafe and just dies from trichinosis.
Yeah, totally. Like, just his fucking asshole falls out and he drops dead.
This is eating unwashed Rainforest Cafe lettuce.
Anybody ever eat at a Rainforest Cafe?
I did once.
No, never been. Never saw one in the wild, to be honest with
There's
you.
a big one in Chicago, I remember, but I would never
is that
went
right?
there. Yeah.
We didn't have one growing up, but what we had, you remember this in the mall, Chris Cabin? You remember the Bugaboo Creek Steakhouse?
Oh, of course.
Pardon me?
That's a lot of syllables.
No, that is literally what it was called.
It was like a fancy-ish mall restaurant called the Bugaboo Creek Steakhouse. And you walked in, and there was
We
a
should
fucking
stop saying it.
there was a talking
Creeps me
moose.
A talking moose.
Dude, it was like a moose head. He'd be like, hi, welcome to Bugaboo Creek Steakhouse. It's going to be 30 minutes before your table. Goo, goo, goo. And it was.
And your life has been cursed ever since.
It was a total rip of the Rainforest Cafe because they had like, it was the same thing, but it was like, instead of the rainforest, it was like North Dakota Cafe.
Yeah, there was bear stuff everywhere.
Bears all over the place.
The northern exposure like restaurant.
It was the American version.
Good drink menu or anything?
No, absolute garbage from top to bottom.
Oh, cool.
Like extra
just
sugary
awful.
margaritas.
Get yourself a Bugaboo bear.
And I that was a place where I definitely had shitty fish.
Of course.
These fake restaurants are
Shitty
just
fish.
awful.
I mean, it was
born in captivity, raised in raw sewage, folks. That's what these fish are.
I mean, it's whoever wins, we lose situation because that place was right next to a Ruby Tuesdays.
Oh man.
Yep.
And it was just like either way.
I got such bad food when I was sitting at a Ruby Tuesdays. Forget about it.
That's what they
really?
serve. It's different kinds.
Was it the typhoon shrimp?
I think it was just the burger, and then it was like, oh no.
Typhoon is what comes out of your ass.
And it was like, it was funny because it was like, it was me. I just started dating my wife Jen and her friend, and we're like,
You were dating both of them?
Yeah, no, her friend was there,
I know, but the way you structured that sentence, man, you really blarted up that.
and it was like, oh, cool, ironic. We're at a mall. Let's hit up the Ruby Tuesdays. LOL. Guess who now has diarrhea for the rest of the evening?
Steve, did you shit in the car?
Goodbye. Oh, Ruby Tuesdays. Get out of my ass right now.
Actually, though, another culprit, man, because it was popular at every Ruby Tuesdays, I think at least pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to that salad bar?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I've risked my life at that Ruby Tuesdays salad
Grim
bar.
death.
Yeah. The cubed ham there, that will give you the six easy.
Absolutely.
So like you just batches.
Pure cubes of
Is this
E. coli.
locally cubed, Tim? Or are you shipping that?
Sourced
in?
from the Hudson region.
So wait a second, though, because the worst line of the movie happens at the Rainforest Cafe where he's dispatching these dudes. One of them, he takes an oxygen tank and positions it in front of a dude, and he goes, scuba dooby doo, and knocks the cap off, and it flies and hits him, I guess.
Am I supposed to laugh at that? Am I supposed to cheer?
Motherfucker.
Oh, you're supposed to be doing both, dude.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be leering at that, laugh cheering.
Because that is as close to you get as any of us get to an Adam Sandler a doobie doobie doo.
That's
is a scuba doobie doo. That's just close enough.
Whenever I'm accused of leering at some ladies,
Yeah.
be like, no, I was actually cheer laughing.
That's right.
It's being supportive.
And then the big, like, which, like, I don't know, man. This is a movie called fucking Paul Blart Mall Cop. I feel when there's an explosion, this is the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because there's some gag about, like, he's got them all locked up in that fucking Rainforest Cafe. And what he's done here is he has very dangerously and irresponsibly turned the gas on the stoves.
Smart move.
And left a curling iron there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
This explosion happens. I mean, that person is 100% dead. He fucking killed that person in the Rainforest
He's
Cafe.
going full under siege right now.
Exactly.
Oh, you better talk to the captain, dude. Absolutely.
Except this guy can't cook. He can just order it.
How great would it be to see Paul Blart in a knife fight?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'd like to see him lose it.
Oh, God. Well, if anybody wants to be really scarred by Kevin, he played a white nationalist
Oh, I know this.
in this
yeah.
action horror movie, Becky or Beth or something
I think
like
it's Beck.
that.
I think it might be Beck.
They just made a sequel with Sean William Scott is in for James.
Wow.
And I was like,
Better
how are
start
you
eating.
making sequels to these movies that nobody fucking sees? How?
That's true. How did they
That's
do
fucking
that?
crazy.
Well, you know, much like Steven Seagal in Under Siege, Kevin James apparently is a martial artist of sorts.
Yes.
Really? Because that's Here Come the Boom, right?
Right, like
He was like a UFC guy. So
Weirdly, can fight, or
Yeah,
like he knows how to put some holds on.
Throws
or
his
something.
weight around, right?
Yeah, now I mean he seems to be bulking up a bit because before, because I remember when like he first was like becoming a movie star, like they did some like thing about him doing like charity events, and it was all golf.
Oh.
And you got to imagine that's like not helpful. So when you get like UFC, like you're like, oh, like at least I'm active here.
Sure,
I'm not
yeah.
just like hanging out staring at the golf course.
Another like crazy edit to sort of the end of this movie, towards the end of this movie, basically, because like he's now like going back and forth with Vec, and there's this thing with the Segway, right? And he's like loads up the Segway with a mannequin to trick Vec. And like Vec like shoots the shit out of the mannequin, and it's like, oh, it's obviously a mannequin. And you cut back, and then he's like, wait a second, it's a mannequin. He goes back to the bank, and I swear to God, like it's the end of an okay joke, which is he used a pulley system to get everyone else out of the.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Because you don't see this happen. You come back to the bank, and it's just the kid from the Clumps hanging from the ceiling, but he's too heavy to go. So it's like the joke is, oh man, we can't lift this kid up, but everyone else is in the rafters.
That's the thing.
That would take all night.
His
would take all
daughter,
night. Yeah.
Maya, Amy, the wig sales lady, and fucking Steve Rannazzisi pen salesman
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
already up there, and you didn't see any of this start.
Because
He
that would
does
be
it in like 30 seconds.
And that, but that would be a setup of a joke, right? Like you get her, you get him. And it's like, oh man, you're getting heavy. And then the joke is, all right, we have 3 seconds left. Let's get the last guy. LOL, he's fat.
Yeah.
But like cutting back, you have to do so much mental math to realize what happened because the edit was so bad.
You're right. It's totally awful. You just have no fucking clue what's happening. But thankfully, this movie does not leave you an opportunity to think about that too much. You ain't dwelling on nothing because you better believe it. He falls through the ceiling.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Oh my God.
Dude, and like none of them, like no one in the room, like every other actor in this scene does not react.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I think they thought that was funny for one reason or another, but it's really just like, yeah, he fell again. What do you want us to do? We know he falls. He falls all the time.
They're
He's
being
been falling this whole movie.
they're directed by a car, you know? It's just beep, beep. That's not helping me for this scene.
So now it's just Vec. He kidnaps just Amy and the girl and the daughter.
After
Well,
Paul Blart throws hot sauce in his
I should
eyeball.
say, yes, getting back to Bullseye,
Yeah.
this is the one genuine guffaw for me, at least. Like, for whatever reason, Paul Blart, to get the better of Vec in this scene,
Sure.
he has, and this, I don't know if we've mentioned it, but the hot sauce guy, Hercules has gifted him a bottle of hot sauce.
The devil's crotch, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
To make him feel better for, I guess, losing the nacho eating contest.
I think I saw the Devil's Crotch on Queer Click. It's pretty good.
Cannavale. That's hot. That's hot.
Tidy down there, the devil.
The devil?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Take a weed whacker to it, you
It's a little blood sausage going on there.
So he's got this
Messy.
hot sauce holstered,
Yeah.
and he whips it out, and they do he spins off the top,
Yeah. Like
and
a real pro.
like
He's
a
opened,
real pro.
He's opened a condiment container or two.
Oh, he knows how to eat.
Good for him.
He's very smooth. This is all one smooth motion, and he picks it up. And you kind of like know this is going to happen, but the way that they do it, the thing that got me was just the sound effect.
Yeah.
The little
Yep.
of the hot
The
sauce.
droplet.
It's
yeah.
just one swift little bloop. He shakes it once, and the hot sauce travels across the room
Mhm.
and hits the guy right in the eye.
Right in the eye.
Back
Bullseye.
into the left.
And
Back into the left.
stops in midair, mind you. But the thing about that's so crazy, and again, because I was like, all right, the movie did not end with the Rainforest Cafe
Sure,
explosion. Got it. Here it is, the big face-off with Vec. He just got him with that hot sauce. Kevin James literally stands there and does nothing. The character doesn't move. He just looks at him. Vec is like, why did you throw hot sauce at me? Well, gotta go.
The joke is he stops. Man, I should have capitalized on that. I'm like, yeah, because the movie would be fucking over, Blart.
But we can't do that.
Turn it off.
It would only be an hour and 15 minutes or something. So we need to pad it with another 10 minutes where now this guy gets away and they're driving to the fucking airfield.
For no reason, Paul Blart pulls a Blues Brothers and drives
Yes.
the dented van that he fucked up at the beginning of the film through a store window.
Sure.
Like, I guess so.
And
Take that discount clothing store.
He picks up Bobby Cannavale, who is now impressed by all of the Die Hard shenanigans. Like, you're pretty cool, Blart. And they're like,
Paul Blart is a badass.
yes, thank you very much. That's a horrible line.
And the whole thing with the phone tracking comes back because Kevin James calls this dude Pahoon again. And he's like, hey, man, remember that creepy thing about tracking your ex-girlfriend's cell phone? Do that again because I need to see what's going on. And this dude is just like, oh, it looks as if they're heading towards an air base. And I was like, does it? Does it really look like that, Pahoon? Okay, man, whatever.
It looks like they're heading to a special secret headquarters on an air base.
It's just such a bad, stupid line.
Vec has this phone because it has all the codes in it.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Because Kevin James has been like, as he kills one person after another here, he sees the blacklight number on their arm and then types it into the phone for whatever reason. We're driving along. We're trying to do this big fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger action stunt here where like Paul Blart is on the top of this van, and he's going to jump over onto the van and
He's
save
dead.
the day.
This is dead. He's dead.
He literally just
That's
jumps off into like the little road embancement there. He would
These
be
are-
dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
these are
I wish he was dead.
The hot sauce gag, I think even the I need a tiny Band-Aid gag, very Family Guy-esque. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
we're going to
Yeah.
hold, I hit my shin and go, ooh.
Oh, man.
that
And
thing.
you know, Kevin James, if they were ever making a live action fucking Family Guy, he would be
First in line.
go into the social media to try to get himself in that fucking role. He
Man,
would be
you
just
know
pushing
what?
for it.
If there's ever
I
a
don't need
live
it.
action Family Guy movie, I'm
Kill
fucking
me now.
done with the medium. I'm done with it.
that's the line.
I mean, I've already been done with Family Guy for like 20 years.
It's
I
true.
can't even imagine.
It's gonna happen.
Oh man!
It's
But so
gonna
we get to
happen.
this airstrip, and
It'll
again,
be-
I ask, how does some scuzzy dude from Jersey have this private jet gassed up and ready to
Sure.
go? Whatever. I guess he's a
Do you-
super criminal.
Do you
after
know how
all.
much
Sure.
those codes are worth?
I heard $30 million.
$30 million.
Look, just you know what, Gary? Just have the plane ready. I'm gonna have the codes. The codes are worth $30 million, sir.
Now, here's the thing that like I don't buy it, and I got to give the credit back to Paul Blart and Kevin James. Like, there's no way this little guy Vec is any match for Paul Blart, and yet this dude is like besting him in a fight. I'm like, how, you're fucking 3 times the
No.
size of this kid.
No, thank you.
Just throw him to the ground.
And you've been beating up like Marines this whole movie. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I wanted Paul Blart to do that like belly thing where like you expand the belly out.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just
Belly
the guy
bump.
goes flying off him into the propellers.
Classic fat guy combat movie. Yeah.
and or the greatest fat guy combat move of them all, the E Honda 1000 hand slap.
Oh,
That's true.
my
that's a good
goodness.
one.
Yep.
Yep. Anybody could do. Yeah, I mean
That would
that
be
is
amazing.
really true, Ben, because like he is killing the like guys who do wet work in Michael Mann movies.
Yes, exactly.
Are fucking taking this place over,
he
and
does-
he's just dispatching them.
At one point, he does a headbutt.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want that belly butt, dude.
Yes.
You know, belly butt. Or, or the bear hug, like the real fucking
Yeah.
You interlock
Right.
your hands and you
Yeah, yeah.
fucking break this kid's spine. Absolutely.
Yeah, you swallow him in your own body. Like your blob-esque body.
He's just crushed
consumes
inside
him.
your stomach.
Yeah.
The headbutt thing is kind of funny because he headbutts the dude in the ball pit like after they fall through the skylight.
Yeah.
And obviously, like he fucks up his own head as well. And he goes, nobody wins with headbutts. I thought that was kind of funny.
Which is probably true, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to do one.
No.
Has anybody been headbutted before?
No, I've
It
given
hurts
a
like
headbutt
hell.
before.
Oh, okay. I've
Yeah.
gotten
Oh.
one.
You see,
Yeah.
the key is you take the forehead
Is that
Yeah.
right?
and you smash that into the nose.
Oh,
that's
so,
what
so,
you want.
I
so
got
the-
right there.
so the nose goes into the brain then. Right?
That's right.
Just you
kill
kill
'em,
someone.
yeah.
Is what
Yeah.
you do.
So Bobby Cannavale is crooked too. That's
Sure.
like
Which
he pulls a gun for
also
no
lame.
It
reason.
doesn't make sense.
So
because
lame.
It's set up when he takes over the crime scene as SWAT or whatever. He wants to do such a good job with it.
Yeah, he's
And
just
now it's just like, what? Well, how could you do that if this
Yep.
series of events didn't happen
he
as
should,
they did?
he should just be the guy who's like, you know what? I was a bully in high school, Blot. You really showed me today by being such a badass.
Because it does
handshake
not matter.
end of movie.
But that's the way it should be. You're totally
Yeah.
right.
We haven't mentioned the Zach Braff cousin cop, whatever. Like,
What?
doesn't that guy look like Zach
Adam
Braff?
Ferrara.
Oh, that's
Ferrara,
right.
yes, yeah, he does. He
Yeah.
does look like Zach
He's
Braff.
got-
I can
that,
see
yeah.
that. Yeah, he's like
We
like
are
a-
in Garden State here.
But he saves the day by shooting him in like the thigh or
Well,
something.
doesn't
the hand. He shoots the
no,
gun. out of his
he
hand.
doesn't. It's
the other guy. the
Yeah,
older
Oh, it's
fella.
the
dude
old
from-
guy.
It's
Yes.
the dude from The Wire.
The boss of the mall cop.
Which
Yes.
this is a thing. Do not pass go. Go directly to fucking jail because it's a security guard that stole a cop's gun
Nope.
out of the holster.
They
and
let you do
used
that.
it to shoot
They let
somebody.
you do that sometimes. You can do that. You know what? People think that's a big deal, but you can do it once or twice
Oh, yeah,
in
it's
your
fine.
life. Anyone, yeah.
I mean-
Just grab a cop's gun.
I imagine Peter Garrett was like, well, I'll be honest with you. I was trying to do a suicide by cop. I thought this would be an easy way to get with, but hey, if I can save the day, I can
Yep.
save the day.
I'll take hero just as much as I would have definitely accepted suicide
a
by
hail
cop.
of bullets.
And because we are getting our fucking money's worth, man. I can't hold back. My survivor
One more
kicks
time,
in for the
baby.
third time. And, you know, it's this whole Adam Ferrara's like, I know you wanted to join the state police, but if you want to come on my like Jersey fucking whatever small town police force, there's a spot for you. And he's just like, no, my job is protecting
I
the
would
people
like
of this mall.
To be paid less and have no benefits.
Exactly.
Please.
Like this makes
He's
no
got a
sense.
kid.
He's got a fucking child. You can't work at the mall your whole life if you have other opportunities. There's nothing wrong with working at the mall or working retail or working as a security
Nothing wrong
guard.
with it at all.
But
No.
if you get the better opportunity and you have a child, you have to then take that opportunity.
I don't want a pension.
yes,
Like,
exactly.
You are a fucking
Like when
idiot.
this girl needs braces or something, you're fucked.
But to be fair here, this as we see at the end, this is soon to be a 2-income household.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get wig money as well
Dude,
as
all that wig retail money.
well as the security officer money.
I need more of him and her. How is she just instantly
Well, he
horny?
gives her the
Yes.
birthday cards, you see. And
Oh,
she-
yes.
And again, because her
Oh.
birthday always falls on Black Friday, which is stupid.
So I just have to be a quote unquote nice guy,
Yeah.
but yet be really fucking weird.
And also, not for nothing, if anyone ever missed my birthday because of Black Friday, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big of it. Look, no, it's my birthday.
Oh,
Like,
Steve, I'm sorry I missed your birthday, man. I was buying a TV.
all right, for how long?
Oh, listen, and then after the TV, there was a really sick deal on a microwave, and I had to wait in line for it to get the right one.
I was at a Best Buy at 3:15 in the morning. I had my laptop.
You know, it's such a shame, Steve, that your birthday is always on Black Friday. I just can never get around to it.
It's a shame yours is always on St. Patrick's Day, Eric. It's such a shame.
This just happened.
Well, that's always.
Oh, actually, no,
that's always March
I
the
fucked it up.
17th.
Damn it, I fucked it up.
But you were drunk, so it's okay.
Easter's one that switches.
Easter switches. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easter's all over the board.
Dude,
Fucking-
Easter could be in fucking February. You're like, what the fuck
Yeah,
happened
what-
here?
Dude, yeah, totally. Fucking, dude, I'll tell you what happened. They're a fucking flub at the calendar factory.
Did Jesus see a shadow? What the fuck?
Now I'm going to go back in. Sorry, everybody. I'm
Rolling
going
the
back
rock back over.
6 more weeks of dead Jesus.
I'm still tired. I took a melatonin too late last night.
June, Easter this year. I guess it's June. Gotta figure that shit out.
Punxsutawney Pilot.
There you go.
He washes his tiny
Punxsutawney Pilot.
There it is.
Punxsutawney
That's
Pilot.
That's
Don't-
we got there.
Don't pray angry. Don't pray angry.
He washes little groundhog hands and the whole affair. You see,
With his cute Roman armor on.
that is adorable. I would buy that stuffed animal in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah,
hell yeah.
definitely.
I always thought it'd be great if there was a for the Build-A-Bear if they had an Easter one called the Crossed-A-Bear.
That'd be great. Yeah.
You can pick the color of the wood that he goes up on.
Pick the stitchings for my blood coming out of my hands.
Yeah, that's right, you simpletons. Come buy the bear. That has Jesus on it, you idiots.
Steve, don't give these ideas away for
That's a
free.
good point. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Come
There's
on.
so many dumb people out there, and that's $1 trillion idea. That's a good point. Yeah, but she reads this birthday card, and you know she's horny because "Think I'm in Love" by Eddie Money starts playing. Oh yeah, and they just sort of walk off through the parking lot. Maybe to have dinner at Legal Seafoods. I don't know.
Not only does this guy a stammering mess when he's around me, not only does he have a 13-year-old daughter who will eventually absolutely hate me, not only
Did he poke
he-
me with his boner on that Segway ride?
not only is he very unattractive, and he lives with his mom, and that's awesome. Okay, cool. I want to fucking fuck in this dude's jerk den. That's what I want to do.
Oh, yeah, and she's going to be paying for that funeral, too. When Shirley Knight leaves this world, she's going to be ponying up.
Another
R.I.P.
reason why he should have fucking R.I.P. Shirley Knight, by the way. But another reason why he should have joined the force, man. Fucking free funeral.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, okay, movie. You at least had the good grace to just fucking end
Yes.
in that parking lot. You get like 4 credits. And what was interesting was I've never seen this on a streaming platform before. Tubi has this thing come up because I guess it must know there were more scenes a coming. And the thing said skip early credits.
Oh, interesting.
So like, if you need to get to these amazing extra scenes that
Of
you
course.
can't even hear anything from faster, you can skip the 7 seconds.
It's
of
a great
credit.
functionality for Marvel movies and what have you. You know, skip the early credits.
Make
go to
sure
the
you
middle.
see it.
I wish there was a skip early movie button on this.
Can you just get me to the Guitar Hero part, and then I can
Yes.
go from there?
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
skip Mall Siege. Skip that. No problem.
Take me right to Rainforest Cafe. You know what? Take me right to the airport.
Skip
How about
said Thanksgiving button push.
To take me to Fat Off. I just want that one scene.
what
Thank
now,
you.
This is what their wedding. I turned off the TV immediately.
So
I did not know this existed.
They get married in the mall, and like
So sweet.
karaoke guy comes back.
Yeah.
Weezer the Juice guy's
Everybody's
there with
there.
his daughter. Weezer the Juice guy's daughter catches the bouquet.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I guess
And her boyfriend is there too. Now they're back together.
I guess
Everyone's
we
at the
didn't-
wedding.
we
Yeah.
didn't mention him enough. He's integral to the plot because there's a GPS on her phone.
Yeah,
That's how he
he's-
finds out they're going to the airstrip.
Which is a good thing.
All of that.
Oh, okay, I wasn't listening. I was looking at dicks on my phone.
Very important work.
Like if this were a true, like they wanted to be a wacky movie, right?
Yeah.
And if this were like truly inhabited the spirit of like a Billy Madison or
Yes.
a Happy Gilmore,
Sure.
a Happy Madison movie, like they would have like of just a fun shot of the parkour criminals at the wedding too.
Yeah.
'Cause
You're
who-
right.
Who gives
Yep.
a fuck,
Right,
right?
yeah.
But they don't.
Well, at least 2 were incinerated when the Rainbow Cafe exploded.
And the problem is also it's like it's over. Yeah, there's a funeral.
Oh,
funny-
dude, it'd be a
funny-
fun. Maybe some skeletons dancing. That'd be kind of funny.
But it's like
Doing parkour.
the wedding, which has visual gags that would be satisfying if you liked this movie, which I did not. It's like it's condensed and small, and like the credits are going. You barely see what's going on.
Yep.
Like have the conviction to your point if it is going to be this big zany movie, end at a big silly wedding, right?
Sure,
like that's
yeah.
it's like like she just says something like, well, we'll see about that smash cut wedding. And then we're really paying off this shitty gag of both of them on his and her segways.
Yep.
Like at least have that conviction to do it.
Because like you can't even hear any of it.
No,
it's
you can't.
It's just the Eddie Money song playing.
Exactly.
Over these credits.
Because
And
even
it's-
Gary Valentine comes back as the wedding singer. Like these are like, again, like, it's not good, but if you liked the movie,
Yeah.
it would be a satisfying conclusion to the movie.
yeah, because like Ben pointed out, but like all those Happy Madison movies have that victory lap thing
Yes.
to them,
Yeah.
one way or another. This does not. That is the end of the movie. We will go around the horn here, Ben, as our esteemed guest this week. Recommendations and final thoughts about Paul Blart: Mall Cop.
Well, as the resident mall experts
Of course.
Land of 1,000 Malls and whatnot.
brought in to assess this film, I can say with confidence that this is a hearty no, full-hearted no,
Sure.
clogged, fat artery heart no.
Clogged toilet too, probably with this guy.
No, I mean this is truly terrible. When I said that I injured my eye watching this movie, it was not just a joke. I literally woke up this morning with a sty in one of my
yeah.
eyes.
Brutal. Thanks a lot, Paul Blart.
And I blame Paul Blart.
You should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Probably
absolutely.
from me like doing the rubbing the eyes like I can't believe what I'm watching.
Yeah,
you
what's
know,
that? Cry laughing too much.
getting like popcorn salt in there or something
Yeah.
like that.
Steve Sadak.
No. I'm not a big Kevin James fan at all. Like I like that Stand Up Once, and that's really been it. It wouldn't shock me if he did something good once. It has, to my knowledge, it hasn't happened. This is a disaster. I think that I think there's a reasonable, fun Paul Blart Mall Cop where it really just sticks to a low stakes mall movie. Once it turns into a super heist, I don't know who's supposed to like it, but I certainly didn't.
I will just go on record and saying super not a recommend. And I'm not anti-Happy Madison. There's a lot of those movies that I think range from great to pretty funny. This ain't it, folks. And I will say, I like to pride myself, just like we all here, as a fellow who is aware of movies and knows movies that exist and whatnot. When I tell you, no joke, I had no fucking idea this movie had a sequel. I had no idea. It came out like 2015 or
Yeah, they
something
took their
like that.
time. I don't
crazy.
understand. 6 years?
And I just want to read something here because it also might be a stay tuned at some point down the line. But
I'm
I was
sure.
like, what mileage are you getting out of Paul Blart 2? So the whole thing is like he goes to Vegas with the daughter, Shenanigans. But the couple first lines of the plot summary on Wikipedia is some of the funniest shit. Funnier than the first movie. Following the events at West Orange Pavilion Mall, Paul Blart is recovering from several misfortunes. His wife, Amy, divorced him 6 days into their marriage.
Okay.
And 2 years later, his mother, Margaret, was killed after being hit by a milk truck.
Doesn't that happen at Banshees of Inisherin? Isn't somebody hit by a milk truck? Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody's father is hit by a milk truck.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
At least it wasn't a Segway.
So I guess Amy got her vision back 6 days into the marriage.
Kicked by a horse.
Maybe
Eric
that
Siska.
old rascal guy was driving the milk truck.
There you go.
Despite all those fat jokes, it is fat phobic. It is stupid. It is fucking shitty. I hate this fucking movie. It was really tough to get through, honestly.
Yeah, it was a rough one. Chris Cabin.
Yeah.
Oh, you got more there? I'm sorry.
Oh, no. The
You
rest
sure,
of my
baby?
opinion got hit by a milk truck.
Oh, yeah. Happens to all of us.
I don't care. Go ahead.
I mean, it's a horrible movie. I mean, like any Kevin James, it's not there, man.
Yep.
All of it, it fails every time. This, I even like some of the supporting cast is good. It's all laid to waste because he cannot hold it up all together. He just can't do it. I say that for all of Here Comes the Boom. I've seen a lot of these. I was a critic around when this was
the James-a-sons,
during the James-a-sons. So I've seen a lot of this shit.
Zookeeper, right? That's also
Zookeeper
him?
also.
We did the Zookeeper.
Yeah, we
previous
did
episode.
Big man
We will.
meant for the small screen.
Well, and that's why I think he was the right move for those the early Netflix movies.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to do it there, but like watching Sandler on the small screen really does depress you. Like, I want to see him.
Oh
big.
yeah, wasn't he in like a fucking assassin movie or
Yes,
something?
he was. Yes,
Who could give a
there
shit?
was so many of it. But yeah, don't watch any of it. It's
God
so bad.
damn, that is Paul Blart Mall Cop, everybody. If you want more We Hate Movies, of course, check out patreon.com/We Hate Movies. We have a rockin' and rollin' We Love Movies episode all about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade that's out this month. But all the shows that you know and love, The Nexus is going to be there, Melrose 210. We do have Once in a Lifetime is returning, and we are going back to Dr. Beckland. What's the official title of this one?
Stalked by My Doctor, A Sleepwalker's Nightmare, I want
I
to say.
think that's correct.
That sounds right.
Wherein two like worlds of Lifetime movies collide into one.
That's right.
The weird sleepwalking in suburbia.
Yes,
right?
Sleepwalking in Suburbia and Stalked by My Doctor together at last. Two great
Finally.
flavors.
I was sleepwalking in Memphis.
So we do have that going on. Do we know the AD?
Yeah, we're doing to tie in with our previous episode now of the Beast Transformers movie. We're doing an episode of Beast Wars. We're going to stomach through the Beast Wars.
boy.
Here we go. We'll
Disgusting.
see what happens there, folks. I
boy.
truly don't know. The Nexus, of course, rocking and rolling with some TOS and TNG discussions, and then the Nexus or Glee Glossary.
Not
See,
yet.
we're
To
doing
be
it. We're doing
determined.
this so early.
We are.
We're ahead of the game.
Listen, the Glee
here.
Glossary is probably out any day now, even though I don't know what it is.
It's a
Ben,
good one, though.
Where can we find you on the internet?
Well, past episodes, I would come on here and say, hey, follow me on Twitter, but that just does not seem like the right thing to mention.
no.
In fact, if you're following me on Twitter, unfollow me on Twitter.
I got you.
But go head on over to Letterboxd. I'm over on Letterboxd.
Nice.
And that's a fun place.
Yeah. What's your handle there?
Probably my name.
Okay, well, the kids at home, they all go by like Funky Joe and Fartzilla.
Oh, yeah.
So they want to know, so they can find you at
Blart fan 69.
Follow Funky Joe.
I gotta see what Fartzilla's up to.
Yeah.
So it's BENWORCESTER.
TESTER.
The Russian spelling.
Not
Worcester-
Funky Ben.
Don't
Like
you have a
Worcester,
podcast
Massachusetts.
as well? Am I
Yeah,
aware?
that's
that we barely
absolutely
do
right.
anymore.
Okay.
Well, every now and then.
TJHookerPodcast.com. Me and Ben have had this bad, well, I guess I kind of forced you into it, this bad idea of, it's a forgotten police show starring William Shatner. Surely everyone would want to listen to an episode by episode recap of it. Turns out that was wrong, but we are almost done with the show. We are
We
into
will
the fourth
soldier
season.
on.
And old Blame It on Outer Space episodes have also been uploaded to that feed, so you can check that out there.
It's a fun feed. I
What
love
the
it.
people want.
That's right. Hey, speaking of fun feeds, the fun on this feed continues next week. The Summer Blockbuster Extravaganza. We're ringing the bell next week, Steve. What's going on?
It's a big one. It's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
It's been a while for that one for me. I loved it growing up. The last two times I watched, I really didn't like it. So we'll see. I think it's going to be another one where I really don't.
You're going to
like
rip the heart out of these people that love it.
So until next week with Eek Monkey Brains, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Zadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Blart.
Wait, you're not doing the Eric Blart thing?
You could do the Ben Blart if you want. Do you want me to be Eric Blart? I'll be Eric Blart.
Be Eric Blart.
I'm Eric Blart.
All right.
Go ahead. Now say your name.
I'm Ben Worcester.
Take it easy.